Yeah, they hate when you elevate. The second of losses, I'm handing them out, yeah, I had to go delegate. It feel like I'm floating, I'm lost in the moment, I swear I could levitate. They never believed that I would really fly, I had to go demonstrate. I had to set them straight. They hate when you elevate, elevate, elevate. They hate when you elevate, elevate, elevate. They hate when you elevate, yeah. I had to elevate. I'm way too fly, yeah, I'm feeling myself. Ain't no chance I'm coming down, no. Got a soul view to myself, yeah. Why would I give it up? Why do they wanna come take my place? I work too hard for it, don't need a replacement. This my vocation, now I got rollies all in rotation. Hop on a jet just to take a vacation. Remember the moments was trapped in the basement. Now the hard work is all taking me places. Squatting all black like we trapped in the matrix. Bet on myself and go ball out in Vegas. Living a life like I'm rich and I'm famous. Don't see the grind that I know that it came with. I ain't make it this far for myself, yeah. I had to prove to everybody else, I had to set them straight, yeah. I had to ball, so I had to renovate, I know. They hate when you elevate. The second of losses, I'm handing them out, yeah. I had to go delegate. It feel like I'm floating, I'm lost in the moment.
Salute. ATP, what it do? Shout out to Cheese already putting color. Man, Cheese. Oh, man, Cheese. Salute, man. Oh, man. Salute Hood Rich in the building. Salute to Will Bigelow in the building. Talk to me in the building. Looney, where you at? Shout out to my co-host Ray Davis in the building. Chef Trey. You know what I mean? Man, salute, man.
That's what's up.
And shout out to Cheese, man. Seriously? Shout out to Cheese, man. That's crazy, man. Salute, gang. Salute, man. I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you, man. Oh, we're going to talk about it today. We got some. Did you get a chance to check the press conference today?
I seen part of it, bro. But you know what I seen. You know what I seen. The highlight. I seen the highlight of it.
You seen Jalil?
Bro.
Yo, that's my dog right now. Jalil had me like, well, hold up, Jalil. Wait, hold up, Jalil. Wait, you slow down, Jalil. Jalil popped off, bro. Had to put his hands on homie, like let him know, like, yo, bro, we are not in the same space, bro. You really talking crazy to me. Kind of Ben got you really feeling some kind of way, right? Jalil, like, yo, kind of Ben got you feeling. You think you feeling some kind of way, bro? I know who you talking to. Let me look to my left. Let me look to my right. Yeah, I think he is talking. I think he talking to me, yo, dad, yo, pops. I think he talking to me. You know what I'm saying? Jalil Hackett, man. Jalil Hackett. Oh my God, man. Nah, Hood Rich for sure, bro. Salute to Jalil, man. Man.
Yo.
Listen, man. Listen, man. Jalil's on a new deal right now with Eddie Hearn in Matchroom. It's a relaunch, and that's why I named the thumbnail Relaunch, you know what I'm saying? Because that's what Eddie's doing right now to a lot of these dudes, you know what I'm saying? Eddie's doing that clearly for Boots, you know what I mean? Giving him the headline in his own show in Philadelphia. But then you look at Jalil Hackett, like, this time around, it's going to be different. It's going to be different, bro. This promotion, this campaign, oh, no. It's going to be different, bro. Jalil was looking a little ashy in his lips. Pause. I wasn't trying to, gauge the dude's lips, but looking a little dehydrated, looking a little, you know what I mean? Shout out to the Tail, if you know what bucket mean, you know what I mean? Boy had the bucket going crazy, you know what I'm saying, on the side of the grill, looking like he was a little, he looked a little parched, meaning that he hasn't even hit the scales yet. But, man, Jalil kind of stole the press conference. Am I bugging? They kind of steal it.
Man, he ran in there with authority, huh?
Listen, bro. He's not going with it. He's not going for it. I know, Hood Rich, I know Jalil was up in there training with you guys. Honestly, I heard there was rumors that Jalil Hackett was like this close to going with GTD. Like there was a good chance that he was going to go with GTD. You'd be able to let me know a lot clearer. So I know there's a close relationship between Jalil Hackett and the Tank Davis family over there and B More. I know you guys, I know Kenny Ellis has a relationship over there, so I know you guys are gonna be rooting for Jalil. Jalil might steal the show, man. And yo, hold up. I don't even want to hold up. Shout out to Pete Dobson too, who was there with the Heat too. You know what I'm saying? He was there with the Heat too. Pete was talking. He was
ready.
Pete was talking. Pete was stuttering a little bit. I think he kind of played himself, and we'll talk about it on the show He was talking, he was studying a little bit, kind of went on his record, pulled up his box rack, like, chill, you're doing a lot right now. You got Jalil making you run in circles. Like Jalil said, I'm over there rent-free, family. I definitely know I'm over there rent-free. But, man, that was a pretty good press conference. And, of course, the star of the show, Jaron Boost Ennis, letting it be known, man. And I love the energy coming from over there as well. Listen, Bozy got this look on his face when he talk now. Yo, Bozy don't got no sense of humor no more, huh? Bozy just not. Bozy don't think this is funny at all, bro. Bozy
you got the Burt Reynolds going on, the Billy D. Williams right now. So
he got the Burt Reynolds, he got the serious face. Everything he hears somebody say, he looking over there like, say it again. I just want to be clear before I respond. You know, somebody's feeling it when they ask you to repeat it because they don't want to have to take back nothing they said. They don't want to misspeak because they about to say something bad to you. So before they say something bad to you, they go, yo, say it again.
Say it again.
Say it again one more time. He gave him the pinky and let him know, listen, we doing them dirty in 4. We standing on business. They said we getting them out of here in 4. He said we getting them out of here in 4. You heard? Jaron got asked a question. He said, listen, hey, what my dad said, you heard? What my dad said, we on business over here. That was a pretty good press conference. Yeah. I know I'm making it sound more exciting. Am I making more? Ray, go ahead, speak on it.
No, you're not. You are building it like it's supposed to be built because they did it. They did their job. They did their job. You know what's going to sell in the fight? What we just seen.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? At every level.
It was respectful.
Right. At every level. You know what I mean? It wasn't. I don't know if you can do it better than that. I don't know. Listen, I have to say, you know what I mean? Shout out to Tank because he did a great job too. You know what I mean?
Right.
But this ain't the same. This energy different, bro.
Yo, shout out to Greenville, and Pete did get his little slapping on the way out. He ain't just get slapped. He ain't get snubbed on the right before they separate him. Right at the edge, he caught him right in the real quick. Hey, bro. Hey, relax, bro. You doing a lot out here, bro. You doing a whole lot out here in front of your people. I know DC's around the corner, but so's New York. We both out of town. You heard? Don't get it twisted. We both out of town, but we close enough to our cities to where everybody here too, from here and over there. So relax, bro. You get slapped in your mouth here. Yeah, hey, right there, right. Nothing crazy. Just hey, wake up, bro.
Yeah. Chill out,
chill out. Relax. Everybody got to relax. You ain't putting your hands on nobody. No freebies out here. No free shots. The entry into the club is expensive. You heard? It costs to get in this club. You ain't just walk in here. Fuck the bottle service. Just to get into the door, it's going to cost you something. You don't just walk up in the club over here. Not in Pete Dobson's nightclub.
Man, that's what he said. I heard him.
No doubt. Hoodman said, hey, Clay, where can I watch the best of Dave stand-ups? I've been locked in. No doubt. Yeah, salute, KG. Yeah, man. Yo, Cheese just showing so much love. This channel has to show improve. You feel me? When you got somebody like Cheese putting that fire in you, you know what I mean? Throwing that gas in the tank. Listen, bro, we have an obligation. I was talking to Ray about that a little earlier, you know what I'm saying? Saying like, you know, when we first started this situation, it was very much like just like what we did on the phone. Like we on the phone talking my box, hey, you know what I mean? Let's go up live. And then, you know, started going up on Blues channel, doing our thing up there. You know what I mean? Shining over there and then kind of getting a little good attention. It was like, you know what? Let's do this channel thing, bro. And then Cheese came over and was like, yo, I like the energy over here, bro. Boom. This is how we going to carry it. It kind of made it like, oh, man, now we got to really do this now. You know what I mean? We really got to do this now. So I'm going to tell you guys, as you see the challenge, the channel developing, you're going to see a lot more things coming into it, being implemented into it. We're trying to separate ourselves from a lot of the outside activity with some professionalism. We're bringing in, you'll see, like, you know what I mean, little things that you're going to start seeing, like this right here. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, let me pop it up. Like this right here, you know what I mean? Little things like this are going to be popping up, you know what I mean? Showing you that we trying to serve the community in the best way, you know what I mean? And back it up, obviously, with that fire content and that fire, and perspectives, you know what I'm saying? The perspectives that we putting on the space. Shout out to Ray Davis putting some color in the chat, too. Ray putting bread in the chat. I mean, Jesus Christ, Ray. Salute to you, King, for sure, man.
That's my dog right family, here. Man, you know, you got to put the color.
He said we need Ray.
I can't match red, but I can match orange.
Yeah. No doubt, man. You know what I mean? So, yo, let's talk. I don't know where to start at. I mean, I guess we got Boots up on the screen, you know what I'm saying? And I put a little video out. It's probably going to drop tomorrow, actually. on the situation as far as Boots' whole entire future. You know, Avanesian is the fight in front of him. Avanesian seems motivated. I saw Avanesian trying to kind of ride the wave about the Terrence Crawford glove gate. You know what I mean? Trying to, you know, put some weight on that.
He tried to sue him for that. I don't know if you knew that. He literally tried to get that. He tried to get that reverse and everything. Yeah.
It didn't work though, didn't it?
I don't know. I don't know how far that went, or if they dropped it, or just some payout to just let it go away. I don't know how it worked out, Clay, but I know he definitely did pursue that for a no contest and a DQ. He also pursued to have the loss, like I said, a no contest removed.
Okay. Well, look, man, he put some emphasis on that. You know what I mean? Salute to J Boxing, GTD in the building. You know what I mean? Thanks for the love, fam. He says his channel is super respectful and professional. I like it. Man, we're going to try to keep holding to that standard, man. That's a high standard. We appreciate you recognizing us, putting the effort into delivering that type of respectful content. You know what I mean? We want to respect the fighters. We want to respect the space, and we want to respect, most importantly, you guys. Right, we got a lot of different perspectives in the chat. Every single show we do, you got the Tank Davis fans, the Devin Haney fans, the Shakur fans, the Lomachenko fans. You got the fans of boxing, and you got everybody who's got a perspective. Boots fans, they got perspective, but you know we all can coexist here. I like to think that this is neutral ground. This is sacred ground right here. You know what I'm saying? What did they say? What did they say when they used to go? What the Vatican was again? What is the Vatican considered? Like you can't go running up in the Vatican.
Oh yeah, well it's neutral. It's like John Wick, bro.
There's a word for it.
Like hotel on John Wick is neutral.
Right, like exactly. I like to think. You know what? We'll talk about it later, bro. You brought up something. We'll talk about it later, bro. That's the international. You know what I mean? Listen. This might be what it is. It might
hotel?
be.
It's the hotel.
Yeah, what was the hotel name again? What was it?
It's just the hotel. You go. The one in New York.
No, the one for John Wick.
Yeah.
What was it called?
I'm gonna look it up.
The Continental. Hey.
Continental. Yeah. Continental. Hotel Continental. Yeah.
I'm gonna throw the link up for Eastside, man. Yo, I'm gonna throw the link up real quick for you, Eastside, so we can get you out the way. You know what I mean? So we don't forget, man, because Eastside got his situation situated. You know what I mean? And you know, I'll be real with you, man. Being able to give somebody like Eastside easy to see him win that, and one of my biggest fears. I keep telling you guys, one of my biggest fears is, you know how these contests go. Everybody's subbing, trying to get part of the channel, but they're not really rocking with the channel. You know what I'm saying? They just trying to get in on the play. And I was like, man, we gonna end up giving it to somebody who don't look like nothing. We ain't never heard from them. They ain't never been on the channel, never contributed any type of perspective on the channel. I was happy to see that it ended up with Eastside. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody who I've seen from day one speaking on here. Even when I was on other platforms, and I was over there at Mill City. Shout out to Mill City, my brother Mill City. You know what I'm saying? When I was over there, Eastside would be holding me down in the Instagram chat. You know what I mean? Like, yo, this dude know what he's talking about. And everywhere I'd be, maybe even more than likely over at Blues as well. So it was good to see. I love it that somebody from the channel that I know is grassroots from the channel got to benefit from that, man. Family, exactly, RC family. You know what I'm saying? Salute. So Eastside, whenever you feel like, if you want, there he is. He just pulled up. He definitely just pulled up.
Word.
Easy, what's good?
Let's get that banner out the way so we can see what he's trying to show us.
No doubt. There it is.
It's all there. The racks. That's the racks.
Man.
It's all there. It's all there for sure.
Oh, I'm a 2X. I heard you though. I heard you say the 3X. I'm a 2X.
Oh, I got a few of them.
I was feeling that that white and baby, that Carolina blue baseball jersey though.
Oh man, let me see if I got that joint in a 2X real quick. Hold on.
Nah, we got black and white like the Malcolm X jerseys, bro.
Definitely, and I gotta send you the addresses in my size as well, man. But Eastside from grassroots, and I'm saying from the beginning. You know what I mean? From beginning, and that's what I wanted to see happen. I didn't want to see Joe Schmo pop up there like, yeah, man, I'm in the middle of West Bubble F, and I don't even really be watching the channel, but I figured I'd give it a shot, and I won, man. Thank you guys. What do you guys do again? Boxing? Yeah, man, I'm gonna try to watch you guys more now that you guys done gave me money. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I've been hip to y'all since y'all was popping up on Blue Channel, bro.
Yeah.
Like for real. Like I'm watching y'all talk on Blue Channel, and you know, a lot of people be not trying to slight nobody, but a lot of people be like leaning towards blue opinion.
Right.
Y'all like the only ones who had y'all own separate opinion. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And like, I respected that.
Right.
And so soon as I seen the link, I was like, yeah, man, let me go ahead and check bro out. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, Ray, I didn't even went follow 2 of your YouTube channels, bro.
Yeah. It's crazy. Look, I don't even put content up. I'm gonna start though. I'm gonna start doing some little small stuff. You know what I mean? I'm trying to kick it over on X right now, on the Twitter channel, and try to kick it over there. But I gotta find time and not really intertwine, like get anything mixed up. It might be during the days though. You know what I mean? I might try to kill some time in Candyland's world, but we'll see.
Yeah, no doubt. RC said we go back to Clay in the work truck. I know, right?
Yo.
It's been a while, man.
Yeah,
I mean, in a work truck, I had to really. The work truck was really messy of me. I'll be honest with you, because you know when people want to hate on you, they try to see where you at and try to hurt your work. You know what I mean? Like, I don't work for myself, so that's why I really pulled away from doing that in the work truck. I was like, you know what I'm thinking about? I'm getting a lot of haters on Candyland's channel. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, let me chill, because let me just you know what I mean, move in a different way. But RC, that's way back, man. RC, that's way back. That's before I actually really had the channel. That's when I was messing around and I wasn't really even doing nothing like that. I was just playing around. Crazy, man. Looney said having intense debates in that truck. You already know, Looney. They got upset. They got upset at me in that truck. We did a lot of dirt in that truck, man. Right time on YouTube. We'll be there if you go live, for sure, man. We're going to work on that with Ray, for sure. Candyland. Yeah, Hood Rich, I'll tell you that privately who Candyland is. But when I put it in perspective, it'll all make sense. That's what I mean. Yeah, Hood Rich said that's what me and Clay used to go at it. Hood Rich, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Bro.
Look, I remember the first time I ran into Hood Rich over there. That was funny.
Yo,
he liked what I said. Look, he definitely liked what I said and then started coming at me on Twitter. That was funny.
Hood Rich was
joking, though. It was all love, bro.
Hood Rich is
that guy, bro.
Like, who is this dude? Oh, hell no. Yo, Blue. What did that battle rapper from St. Louis back in the day? I don't know if you follow battle rap, because I know you from out of St. Louis. What was his name? Oh God, something Ill. Young Ill.
Oh, Young Ill, yeah.
He used to be like smack. And he used to say smack. Who's man? No, what did he say? He used to say smack. Who's man? I can't remember. I'm trying to remember what his saying used to be, but that's what it was. That's what Hood Rich was doing to me, man. Hood Rich was like, "Yo, Blue, I fuck with you, Blue, but who's your man's? Whose man's is this? Who let this dude in the club? Who's this dude in here with?" But yeah, man. Yo, shout out to you, Eastside. Like I said, super excited. I was loving the idea when you said you were doing the clothing line, and I looked at your Instagram. I was like, yeah, bro, that's what this is for. You know what I'm saying? Right. This is for that type of situation, for them entrepreneurs, for them people who really pouring in to their financial freedom, their financial independence. You know what I'm saying? That's where you want it to go, because it could have easily went to somebody who's getting ready to buy a case of Hennessy and buy weed to smoke the whole hood out, right? You know what I'm saying? Right. To have a great weekend, and I was happy to hear you be like, "Oh, my clothing line." When he said that, I was like, "Oh, that made my heart feel good, bro."
Put money on a Hellcat, on a red eye.
Yeah,
and just you can't make no more payments.
Make the payments.
Look. Hey, luckily I got some of that already around, so I ain't even gotta waste no money on it.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Say less. Say less, man.
Right?
You don't need no help with that. You need some help with the bigger things. You're like, I got that. That's change.
That ain't nothing. That's every day.
Yeah, man.
This clothing line, man. I definitely appreciate the backing, man, because like, you know, I'm doing everything out of my own pocket. You know what I'm saying? So to get that little extra push, man, is always appreciated, bro. For real. Especially as unexpected as this was.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, man. Look, I seen it and I was excited about it, but I was really just excited to see somebody get picked, because I've been really watching the whole process of y'all getting to that 1K. But when I saw my name pop up, I was like, I'm talking to my old lady to the right of me. I'm like, man, that's my YouTube page. She like, for real? I'm like, yeah, I subscribe to like 3 different YouTube pages. Let me check and see if they respond to it or whatever. And that's what made I had to get on my phone and do it and everything because I was watching from my iPad. So I was like, man, let me check my phone and see if this really my page, yo. If somebody else got that same title.
Right.
Like, yeah, bro. When I saw that, my heart dropped.
No, it's definitely you. They had much better on there.
Yeah, man. But I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate you too. I appreciate Charles Edward Cheese. Like, man, I'm riding with y'all, bro, for sure.
No doubt. We try not to let you down, man. We really gonna work hard and make sure that we keep, you know what I'm saying, that we keep you here, you know what I'm saying, with the content and the news and the perspective on the boxing space. And you know the link is always there for you as well. If you ever feel like hopping up, building real quick and be like, hold up, I seen something crazy this week too. I want to speak on what I saw, what makes sense to me. Definitely hit that link. You know what I mean? We're definitely interested in what you got to say.
For sure, bro. Appreciate it, man.
No doubt, family.
Look, just reach out to me, man, about them. I know Ray say he want a 2X. Clay hit me about your size, and man, we'll make it work, bro.
That's what's up.
No doubt, man. I appreciate you, brother. Talk to you soon.
Major appreciation, fam.
For real.
Salute again.
100, Brody. 100.
Yeah, Ray. That's what we do it for. That's a good.
You know what? Make you feel good, don't it?
Yo, it does, bro.
Especially when you see somebody building the entrepreneurship and doing all the right things right there, man. That's what we are about, man. You know what I mean? It's not just about boxing, it's about the way of life, and it's important in the community too. You know what I mean?
Always 100%, Ray. Couldn't have said it better. Could not have said it better, man. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, we're gonna bring it back full circle to this boxing. You know what I mean? Shout out to what Keji says here. I've been part of the YouTube boxing space from start when there was nothing. Claymore Rain done it the right and coming professional. Thank you, man. And I'm be real with you, and I don't want to get all salute Clay, salute at Ray. Foster wasn't robbed. He got his ass whipped. Okay. I hope you come up later, Ross Scott, to put some perspective on that one right there. You know what I'm saying? But I was just gonna real quick, just what the Keji said. That was kind of my motivation as well. When me and Ray used to speak, that was kind of like the motivation a little bit. Was just like, man, everybody just be going at each other's throats in this boxing space. These fans be ready to, like, it sounds like Clubhouse. Channels.
Can I speak on that too?
Go ahead, brother.
Because I remember I had introduced you to a channel. Remember that? And your boy was up there. And they was talking about beating them up and all that. And I was like, yo, Clay, look at this. And he was like, yo, that's not what I want. That's not what we want. I said, bro, nobody can hear each other talk. I'm like, yo, they wilding right now. And then, and thank goodness your boy was just sitting there like, yo, y'all just really, really clowns up here. And he hopped off. But
yeah,
yo, he had legitimate points and everything, bro. And it was just like,
yo, he was like, so when are we gonna start talking about boxing? Like, are we gonna get to that too? Like, you doing that, but are we also gonna get to some point where we get back to this boxing? It was crazy, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I wanted to bring to the space. I believe that's what it's, and not to mention, shout out to everybody in the building. I know we got a lot of brown, African Americans in the space. We also have Latinos, and we got all types of Latinos and Mexicans and Puerto Ricans to all the different shades of the Latino community. But you know what I didn't like was our community always being involved with some hostile, you know what I mean, conversations like that online to each other. When you look at the other communities who are doing the same thing, you're not seeing that. You're not seeing it, that hostile, just hating of themselves. You know what I mean? Hating on each other, that crab in the barrel mentality that you've seen on these other in these other spaces. And I hated that. I'm like, nah, man, boxing is something that I love. And, this starts in the barbershop, right? Like, you sitting around with your friends and family, you're watching boxing. Debates get heavy in the living room, especially you get a little bit of whiskey involved in it. It could get a little tense, but for the most part, there was always a respectable foundation. And I feel like because this is an internet experience, a lot of people are really brave and get brazen just because it's the internet, right? Just because it's the internet, people get even more brave and brazen than they possibly would because I've been in a room with, I'm going to keep it 100 with you killers. You know what I mean? Real dudes arguing, and never have I ever thought for one moment it could go left or right. Like, everybody was not finna throw away their lives over no boxing conversation. But the way you hear people talking on the internet, Oh my goodness. So yeah, I wanted to provide a space where we could talk boxing, man, because there's just so much boxing to talk about. Why ruin that by turning it into some personal thing where you're testing some man's manhood, disrespecting some man's livelihood or his family, his women, whatever you're trying to do, his children. It just gets too deep. It gets too deep, man. So I appreciate you guys supporting us, putting a platform out here like that, and you guys supporting the platform with your presence, with your super chats, you know what I'm saying, with your with everything, you know what I mean, with your contribution, with your intellect, and showing that, you know, there is people in the boxing space that really still enjoy talking about boxing in a respectable space, and we can respect these fighters for putting their lives on the line to give us the entertainment we're talking about, right? So appreciate you guys, man. Let's see here. As a fan, we can only dream of fighters facing each other in different divisions, like action figures. Who wins Prime Manny Pacquiao versus Hugh G. Oh my God. I fell for it. The best fight the best. I fell for it. I got to get better. I got to get better at this. Man, I talked to Shakur on Twitter today. Space, that's a stubborn, hard-headed little motor scooter for sure. We're going to talk about Shakur too. We definitely got to talk about Shakur today because it's also going to be a big day for Shakur on Saturday as well. He's showing up to the Philadelphia event. It looks like Eddie Hearn's waiting on him to show up. Eddie Hearn has a game plan. Let me tell you, I told you guys yesterday, that's something that Shakur needs, man. He needs to go somewhere where somebody has an actual plan for him, where they see what they want to do with him. Eddie's been watching him from afar, the same way he was watching Boots Ennis from afar, right? And Eddie's like, I don't know what they doing over there with him. I know what to do with him. He come over here, I know exactly what to do with him. We're going to talk about the Eddie Hearn interview I watched today as well. I love what he was saying. I expected him to not say it, but I knew that's how he was going to approach it. But him saying it was awesome to hear him talking about, you know, allowing Shakur to leave, Matchroom for a moment, getting out the way of Shakur getting in a deal with the Tank Davis. I love to hear that from promoters, you know. Eddie was like, listen, man, if that fight, we can put that fight together with PBC, and if PBC doesn't want me involved in it, I'm not going to allow my presence to get in the way from legacy being made. I'm going to step out. I have no problem stepping out the way, not being involved with the negotiation for that one fight to allow Shakur to go over there and get that fight with Tank Davis. That's the kind of mentality I love to see these promoters having, man. And when you have that flexibility, he also acknowledged that he knows he has to pay. He knows that he has to pay Shakur more than Bob was offering him. I loved it. You know what I mean? He said it. He was like, I'm not crazy. I know I got to give him more money than what Bob was offering him. Why would he come over here? You know, people, because, you know, there was a rumor going around saying that Eddie said he wasn't going to pay him as much as Bob. And he's like, that's nonsense. Of course I'm going to pay him more. That's part of the whole entire game. But he also talked about Shakur fighting Liam Paro. So Shakur competing at 140 as well as 135, like letting it be known, like, yo, it's about the money. There's opportunities, there's legacy opportunities everywhere, not just here in this division. It don't just got to be William Zepeda. It don't just got to be, you know what I'm saying, Tank Davis. It could be Tank Davis, William Zepeda, and then beyond. And I got a game plan for Shakur, whether he wants to make it a 2-fight deal, a 3-fight deal, a 10-fight deal. I got a way to approach this because I know Shakur Stevenson is a star. I love the way, and he also spoke about the matchmaking as well. We could talk about all that stuff. But on this Jaron Boots Ennis conversation right here. Oh yeah, Hood Rich, he's tweaking. We're gonna talk about that as well. Eddie spoke about that too. Listen, man, we're gonna talk about a lot tonight. But yeah, I'm going to read off what I put in here. Can a dominating performance against a common opponent in David Avenesian bring us any closer to Boots versus Bud? Everybody keeps bringing up Boots versus Bud. It's a fight that is in high demand, to say the least, at this point. Boots versus Bud is damn near right next to David Benavidez versus Canelo Alvarez at this point. Like, it's got a demand now. Clearly, what's going to drive a fight like that to happen is going to have a lot to do with, right? We know that what Bud is interested in. We know Bud is in this chapter of his career. He is in the chapter in his career where money is a huge, huge factor in the decisions that he's making as to who he's fighting next. We know that, right? We know that. So is this fight right here laying the foundation to a potential fight there? Now, also keep in mind, Boots is now the money fight at 147. He is the money fight. I mean, would you agree, Ray? Right? Oh, you're on mute.
I really just realized that. Yes,
okay.
Boots is that dude. He's the fight to make and the fight to have. Absolutely, I totally agree. And let me put this in the chat.
Right, no doubt. And Bruce, sorry, I said Bruce. And Boots is also got something going on in Philly right now that Eddie Hearn wants to tap into. He's not trying to make this Philadelphia move a one and done thing. He wants to make Philadelphia the same way that New Jersey is for Shakur, and bringing fights to Newark is the best place for Shakur to perform. He's trying to have that with Boots Ennis. He wants to actually bring all those fighters, as many of them as possible. He wants to bring them over into Philadelphia. And I appreciated what he said, you know what I mean? Oh, shout out to Greenville and Mike, man. We got a new member to the channel. Greenville and Mike in the building, man. Welcome to the family. You always been family, Greenville. You always been family. But yeah, man, I appreciate you supporting us on a monthly basis to keep this channel moving forward. We totally appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Thanks.
So now he wants to bring everybody to Philly, and Eddie's talking the right talk. Eddie Hearns may be the best promoter in present day boxing. Maybe I'm stretching. Am I bugging? May he be? I'm not saying he is. Maybe he's not. But is he is he one of? Is he like top? Like what promoter right now is doing a better job than Eddie Hearns for his fighter?
Nobody. Yeah, no, it looks like he has the most interest, and he's looking at bottom dollar and return on investments for himself and his fighters. He's looking like he's capitalizing. He looks like he's moving things structurally. He's trying to work with whoever and whenever. He's not trying to get in the way, and he's definitely brought Turkey Sheik into the building to help bring some of those things to reality. So some of those fights to realities for his fighters. So yeah, he is definitely the promoter of boxing right now.
Yeah, he's that top guy, and to align yourself with him, it's a good thing today, 2024. I don't know what he was in 2023, what he was in 2022, what he was in 2021, because you'll get a lot of detractors who are going to want to point out things that Eddie Hearn may have done in the past. Oh, he did this. You remember what he did with this fighter? What he did with this fighter? Listen, man, if you go to any of these promoters, I promise you, listen, I'm guaranteeing you go to any of these promoters, you're going to find something shady in the way they move, from Don King all the way up to present day Eddie Hearn and everything in between. You're going to find where Bob Arum has stories of messing his fighters over. You're going to hear about, clearly you hear about Oscar De La Hoya messing his fighters over between Canelo Alvarez and, all these fighters who have complaints. You're going to hear, Bob Arum and Terrence Crawford, Bob Arum and Shakur Stevenson. You're going to hear about, Frank Warren out there. Everybody got their dirt. But at the end of the day, shout out to Janet Jackson. What have you done for me lately? This is the type of society that we live in. And right now, Eddie Hearn is on to something. He's flexible. He understands. And I think the most important thing that I see about Eddie Hearn right now is that he is putting the fighters first. You see him doing that. You know what I mean? He is the guy who stepped aside and allowed Devin Haney to leave and do a 3-fight deal with Top Rank to go ahead and become an undisputed champion, as well as get a fight with Vasily Lomachenko. You've seen him do that to the point where he had to draw a line in the sand. He had to draw a line in the sand with Devin Haney and be like, not this time, bro. You either going to rock with us, sign with us, and give me a couple fight deals, or, go get somebody else to pay for that fight. I'm not going to be the dude who's paying for fights that I don't even believe in. I'm not even doing that no more, right? So Eddie's shown that he's willing to be flexible to work with these fighters. So hence you're going to see a Jalil Hackett find a home over there. He's going to like the arrangement. You're going to find a Boots Ennis who's going to find a home over there, who's feeling the partnership, who likes the way Eddie Hearn is passionate about the sport, passionate about the fighters. Whoever Eddie Hearns is managing.
He is. He's signed with Matchroom.
Who?
No, to the Keggy. I'm just reading it. Devin.
Oh, okay. Devin was never signed to Matchroom.
He has like a lucrative contract where he's also partnered with them through his promotional company, so he can move different ways. Matchroom is his backing. Remember, we have to look at the difference between a promotional. And I'm just going to touch on this real quick. You get but the promotional company and a promoter. The promoter, he's his own self promoter, but the promoters are different than the promotional companies. They're just like managers. The promoters are just managers. So they need somebody to push their value and put up the money for them, like a bank, like a loan. So that's what Matchroom is. Matchroom is his promotional company, his entity. If he doesn't want to work with them, Eddie Hearn allows him to go different ways. But he has a 3-fight deal with Matchroom. Absolutely.
Right.
He has a contract.
So at the end of the day, but I don't know. I don't want to push back on that too much, but I thought that was Eddie Hearn's whole issue with Devin Haney was that he's not signed, that Devin Haney's his own promotional company. That's the reason why he wouldn't back him on the fight with homeboy from Spain, right? With Sandor Martin. That was what he was basically saying.
Well, no, yeah, but he has a 3-fight deal with Eddie Hearn. So even though he doesn't want to back him, he doesn't want to support those type of fights. He wants to support fights that's going to bring money back into him. Because remember, that first fight that he did over there didn't earn him much money. Okay. So he wants a better fight that's going to return the value to him. That's why he was trying to push Matias so much in that fight with Devin. If you haven't noticed, when Matias was the IBF champion.
Okay.
He kept trying to big up Matias and saying, I think Matias is that big fight for Devin. And then as Devin went over across the line, they kind of like felt like he was getting slapped in the face because you're willing to take this fight for Ryan instead of trying to unify this fight with Matias when I got you both right here.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's the fight he wanted to make down the line. So I get it. You know what I mean? It's like it felt like he was slapped in the face on that.
Yeah, man. Listen, I understand where he's coming from because sometimes good people get tried like stupid people. You know what I mean? Sometimes a person has good intentions and is trying to do something to help you out and try to give you good faith, hoping that you'll give him the same good faith back, and you just keep kicking him. And he has to draw a line in the sand and be like, yo, bro, I'm not stupid. I just believe in you, but I ain't dumb. So you know what we're gonna do? Let's revisit this in a real way next time. But right now, Sandor Martin wants to fight you. Let Top Rank figure that out and pay for that fight. I'm not paying for that. And when you come back to the table, let's have a more authentic conversation. You know what I'm saying? About how our arrangement benefits us both. You know what I'm saying? Not just one way. Right. You know what I mean? You got to respect Eddie Hearn for doing that. But yeah, man, you know, Jalil Hackett seems to be in good hands. Jalil Hackett seems, what I saw from him in that press conference was somebody who was very happy with where he was at. He felt free. You can tell. You know what I mean? So I like what Eddie Hearn's doing over there. And for Jaron Boots Ennis right now, fighting David Avanesian, even though this is a last minute, 3 to 5 week replacement because of what happened with Cody Crowley, it still puts him in position. It's actually a blessing. And I think Bozy spoke to it a little bit as well to say that, you know what, this is even a better lineup for me than Cody. David Avanesian is more of a challenge. And at least he's he didn't say this, but I know in the back of my mind, he had to be like, at least this is a common opponent with somebody we trying to fight. You know what I'm saying? This guy, you know what I mean? At least he's bringing that to the table. Cody didn't bring nothing but a mandatory, you know what I'm saying? Defense. But David Avanesian brings that common opponent with him and Terrence Crawford. But I had to rethink and revisit the whole entire situation to say, you know what? Eddie Hearn has a point. Jaron Boots Ennis is the money fight at 147 right now. There's nobody else who's bringing the money in for these fighters. So it may be easier than I thought it was for him to line up these championship fights at 147, being that he's the money fight for these fighters, right? As well as legacy. He brings to the table what he never brought to the table before. He brings the money. He brings the belts. He brings Philadelphia, Wells Fargo Center. He brings Eddie Hearn. You know what I'm saying? He brings a lot of promotion and marketing for a lot of these fighters. So, yeah, man, maybe he should hang out at 147 a little bit and collect those belts and become undisputed. What do you think, Ray?
I'm going to go back on what I said yesterday. Who's going to fight him, though? Who's going to give him those tests? Who's going to go get the belts and give him those options?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Now those fighters have vested interest in fighting them because they get their highest payday right now is aligned with fighting Boots Ennis. That's their highest payday. That's what Eddie's saying. Eddie's making it clear, like, I'm telling you, that's your highest payday.
Right, that may be the case, but two of them are PBC fighters. Do you think they're going to believe that? You think Al Heyman going to allow that to happen?
We never know, bro. You're right. You're right. You're 100% right when it comes to that, man. It's going to take some cooperation, but it just seems like from the Eddie Hearn side of the conversation, it's like, I'm going to do everything I'm supposed to do to make the fight happen. I'm going to offer. I'm going to beat whatever you know what I mean? You're going to have to consciously choose to fight somebody else for less money. And once again, we're back to day one with this across the street nonsense where these promotional companies are holding back fighters from reaching their potential from the best fighting the best because of just simply trying to control the situation. So if that's what they want to put out there, that's okay. But to give PBC their credit, they did show an act of good faith, putting their fighters on a semi-matchroom card in August 3rd on this Terrence Crawford card. They cooperated there. They sent three of their fighters over there that I'm aware of, maybe more, right? You got David Morrell over there. You got Isak, and you got Rayo Venezuela that's over there right now. Those are big fights that they're sending over there. Rayo Venezuela and Isak Cruz specifically is a huge fight that they're sending over there. So maybe they're a little bit more open to cross-promoting right now and putting together fights than they were in the past.
So those two fighters that you just mentioned was Rayo and Pitbull. Forget about Morrell for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Those two fighters right there, what do they have in common? PBC keeps the belt no matter what, right?
Right.
So they're not losing anything, right? The payday is going to them anyway, right? Because they still get a piece of that brand. So they still get money from that. As far as Morrell's still a stepping stone. So they're just moving him up. You know what I mean? They're gonna watch him and they're gonna put him out there to get some action because they probably feel that they don't have enough in that division to get him fight. So you know what? Let somebody else feed this man pockets.
Talk about it.
Yeah, PBC is definitely is smart, and they're going to be smart about certain things. And they're not exactly, Katie. They're not going to. I don't think they're going to throw these guys over there to let him fight and match him for Boots, man. Especially Boots could have signed with them, and he was already a Showtime acquisition and fought on their cards.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see them. I feel like they got slapped in the face. They might try to make him pay for that. Hold them belts over there. Make one of them unify over there on their side.
100%, man. That was a great point you put out there. Shout out to the Keji as well, man. I like what you just said. Unless it's a big offer, because they're going to be underdogs in all these fights. Fighting against Boots and Ennis, more than likely you're going to lose. And you know what I mean? Obviously the fighters might not feel that way, but you know, I'm sure the promoters of the PBC is like, we know what's going to happen. You know, it's kind of the same situation I'm looking at with the William Zepeda, you know, Dennis Baranchek situation with Bob Arum. I have a lot of doubt as to whether or not that fight's going to get put together the way Oscar's trying to have it happen, because I'm sure Bob Arum is aware of, you know, he knows the kind of fighter William Zepeda is, and Dennis Baranchek. He basically may be just giving away that WBO title, the Golden Boy, and Bob Arum doesn't necessarily, you know what I mean, ride that way. So he may be more interested in seeing what kind of opportunities he can give William Zepeda inside of Top Rank. Well, excuse me, not William Zepeda, Dennis Baranchek inside of Top Rank, you know what I mean, and make it like the same way as the Rayo and the Isak Cruz fight, right? Win-win either way. We're keeping the belt here, we're getting the money off of it, right. And you know, we're not really losing at the end of it as a promotional company.
Right.
Yeah, man. Well, Boots got decisions to make, you know what I mean? If he's gonna have a hard time making these fights, me and you have been on the same page about this for months now, a lot of months now, saying that he may have to go up to 154. The biggest fights that he can make are up there for him. You know what I mean? Outside of Terrence Crawford. Like Terrence Crawford is just the cherry on top of the on top of the pie. Like he got all other kind of fights. He got Virgil Ortiz over there. He's got Erickson Lubin over there. He's got, you know, Sebastian Fundora over there. He's got Brian Mendoza over there. Right.
Like I said, you got a list. All the top 10 is all great fighters. All of them at 154. You know what I mean? That's not even including the champions and the people that are going to be champions or interns. You know what I mean? So, interims champions. So at the end of the day, it's a lot more space to dance in that arena over there at 154 than it is at 147. So yeah, I definitely like that move better. We'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens as the world turns. Matter of fact, shout out to Clay for bringing that to my attention, man. That was actually one of my best victories over there. You know what I mean? In the forefront, that got me thrown over the fence, kicked out the crew, all that, bro, didn't it? That's this conversation right here got me kicked out the crew.
Listen, man, without a doubt, and you know, I mean, that's why this has been created, pretty much, right? Because of those experiences. But you know, a lot of legendary, legacy-driven fights up there for Boots Ennis, able to collect on a lot of those fighters who may have escaped, and I'm using that word loosely, right? Because I don't want to make it sound like these fighters were running from Boots, but just to say that the opportunity that Boots had to fight the Terrence Crawfords, the Errol Spences, the Virgil Ortizes, the people who were there with him at 147, you know what I mean? They went up to 154, and he has an opportunity to still make his way that way and still chase undisputed. You know what I mean? Still chase undisputed accolades at 154. It's right there for him, and I think those fights are a lot easier to put together right now than the fights at 147, just as far as that across the street situation is concerned. You know what I mean? We'll see what happens, though, right? We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. You know what I mean?
And being at the 154 division is not really like a glamour division. Guess what? That means that the promoters are willing to cross promote these fights over there.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And as the stardom starts picking up in that division, it goes up to 160, 168, where it becomes glamour. So, yeah, it makes all the sense in the world.
Let's see what he does after this fight, though, right? Let's see. He has a fighter in front of him, and it's not good to look past anybody. He's got a fighter in David Avanesian in front of him. It's good to know that Boots is looking to make a statement performance. He's trying to make a statement with this performance and kind of separate himself from everybody else and let everybody know, like, yeah, bro, get ready. And Eddie Hearn is also ready to, offer the money and put a lot of these fights together. Let's see what happens. Boots goes to 154. They'll duck him there too. Maybe not.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't think so. I'm telling you, I just think that people want. Again, Roscoe, let me put it into perspective again. It's like we're looking at it. Can I speak on this? We're looking at it right now. Shakur at 126, dangerous. Shakur at 130, a little bit little dangerous, but not as much. At 135, they're looking at this dude like, bring him on. You know what I mean? Regardless of him being better than them, ranked higher than them, whatever the case, they feel like they have a better chance of beating them at 135 than the guys that were at 130 and 126. So that's where it comes. Same thing with Inoue. Inoue is moving up the rank. If he goes to 130, you think Inoue going to be the guy he is right now? He may be, but guess what? At the end of the day, them people going to be like, yo, I'm going to break his jaw. You're going to have people feeling more confident because they like, yo, he up here with the big boys. And that's how it is. When you start moving up in weight, people start feeling more confident that they can get to you.
Yeah, Roscoe, I would push back as well of saying not as good as what fans is making it out to be. I think maybe, I don't know if you're talking about the quality of fighters or I don't know, but I think there's some exciting fights to be made at 154. 154 is a very balanced division, in my opinion. Everybody can get it. You know what I'm saying? There's not one dominant force at 154 running through everybody. There's a lot of good dancing partners up there. Boots can bring that, a little bit more of a dominant presence up there. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, the division is exciting because of the dancing partners, because of the fights that can be paired up and be made up with the competition that's there. 147, you look at Boots. Boots is just going to run everybody over. He fights. He's just going to bust all their heads to the white meat and keep it moving, which is entertaining in its own right.
All right. You know what I mean? Yeah, I respect your opinion on that, bro, for real.
The quality of fighters, right?
Yeah, I respect his opinion.
Yeah, for sure. That's why I said maybe the quality of fighters, but the quality of fights that, if you got all C-level fighters in a division and they're fighting each other, you're going to get some exciting fights. If you got two A-level fighters against a division of a whole bunch of C-level fighters, then you got a division that's really not going to be competitive. You know what I'm saying? And then those two A-class fighters are going to be ducking each other constantly and not fighting each other, and we lose. But when you got everybody kind of like at that level, everybody willing to punch it out, box. I mean, you don't got no real like boring fighters at 154 for real. When you think about it, everybody's kind of there for the big fight to make it exciting as possible. And I like the odds of us as the fans. I like the odds of us seeing great fights in those type of environments.
I agree.
You know what I mean? So we'll see how that turns out. Yeah, just like you said, Roscoe, we'll definitely see. You know what I mean? And Terrence has a large task ahead of him his damn self. You know what I'm saying? Right. But Ismail Madrimov coming up. You know what I mean? So we'll see how all those situations turn out. So let's tap into this Eddie Hearn situation with Shakur Stevenson. Get a little deeper into that. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. We spoke about it a little bit yesterday, and Eddie Hearn's really added to it more in the interview that I saw. And I was saying that the matchmaking was an issue for Shakur Stevens, right? Like what we're seeing from Shakur Stevens, like we could see better if the matchmaking was better. I know a lot of people want to give Shakur Stevenson the boring jacket. And like I've always said, he's warranted that criticism for the delivery of performances that he's given us, but also against the fighters against the fighters that he's been put in front of, right? Eddie Hearn spoke to it like, listen, man, don't expect Shakur Stevenson to tap into his bag for a fighter like an Artum or, you know, maybe Edward De Los Santos. If he wasn't injured, maybe he would have given a better performance, you know what I mean, fighting. I feel like if he would have fought Edwin De Los Santos the way he fought Artum, I think we would have got a better fight because Edwin would have been pushing it to a certain degree to have Shakur step into his bag. But just like Calvin Ford has said, pushing that button, you know what I mean? You're not going to get the best out of Shakur Stevenson without putting him in front of the right opponents. And Eddie Hearn spoke real today in the interview I saw with him. He spoke about that. Follow your boy back. So, okay, yeah.
I don't see you, though.
But it's
everybody pretty much that follow you.
Thing happening. Run to 160 for what reason? The Keji run to 160. Who's running one? Tim Zhu will run to 160. Why you think that, Ross? Why you think he'll run to 160? You think he'll run to 160? Like that's an interesting choice of words. You don't think he wants to fight at 154? You think he'll run from boots? Like, what do you mean by that, Ross? Charlo will leave the division. I mean, maybe. No. I mean, at the end of the day, who cares, though? Charlo's like so inactive right now. Go through it. I don't know if he makes a difference in the division right now. If he gets up and leaves, what are we really missing out on? I don't even know if he's coming back. As a fan of boxing, am I even counting on Charlo to come back and do something? Not right now. You know what I mean? Let me see. Tim will be managed away from 154. Ross Scott says. Well, no, J.R. Spock said Tim will be managed away from 154. I don't think he's shook. I don't know. You guys, I can't put that jacket on Tim Zhu. Tim Zhu's always shown so much heart and always shown that he's available to fight everybody. I don't know what I've seen from him that would make me give him the, put the crown on his head as somebody who would run out of the division to go fight somebody else. I don't know, man. I don't know. Yeah, Carlo's not in the picture. 100%, Ross Scott. You know what I mean? But let me stay on topic with Shakur Stevenson. What do you think? Because people are also talking about Shakur Stevenson going over to Floyd Mayweather still. People are still really entertaining that he may go over to Mayweather. And I think that's a legitimate option for him. But if we're comparing Mayweather Promotions with what Eddie Hearn brings to the table, I saw Sean Porter on Pro Box today talking about how, Sean Porter's always going to, shout out to Sean Porter. Great boxing analyst, good at his job, but it seems like whenever he gets an opportunity to put PBC up, that's what he's going to choose to do, right? Like, so from his perspective, it's like, Shakur needs to go over to the PBC because the PBC is where it don't make no sense. Don't even play with Mayweather Promotion. He should go to the PBC. And I'm like, yeah, but what about Eddie? Are you telling me Mayweather Promotion has a better track record than Eddie Hearns? Like Mayweather Promotion just lost Jalil Hackett. Jalil Hackett literally just left Mayweather Promotions. Richardson Hitchens left Mayweather Promotion. So what kind of track? All they have over there is Kamel Moten, and Kamel Moten had to perform on the undercard, opening up a card like on the prelims to Nate Diaz and Jorge Masvidal, right?
Right.
So Tank Davis wouldn't even allow Kamel Moten to fight on an undercard of his. So why would it be easier for Shakur Stevenson to put a fight together with Tank Davis under Mayweather Promotions?
Not to mention, before you even cut that off, where does Mayweather fight on? He don't even fight on PBC. He fight on DAZN.
100%. So I don't know, man. I don't know what they're saying when they're pushing that PBC. I don't see PBC being. I think when I look at somebody who sound like I saw Stanionis just update his re-signed with the PBC, and most of the boxing space was like they thought that was like one of the dumbest things they ever seen. They didn't see no reason for Stanionis to do that. Most of the boxing space like, why did he do? We just don't understand like why did he do that? You know what I mean? It's almost like, in my opinion, he kind of got taken advantage of. Like, is Stanionis such a fanboy of Mayweather? You know what I'm saying? Or PBC, sorry, not Mayweather, the PBC, that he's not seeing the inactivity, that whole entire roster?
Maybe he likes that. You think about it, he didn't reneged on a lot of fights that he was supposed to have. So maybe he liked that situation.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know, man. You
got people that are comfortable in certain circumstances. So he might be comfortable where I get long layoffs and can fight once a year and get that semi big payday and be on the undercard. I mean, that's not for me, especially when you wasn't he the kickoff of the main card in the last fight?
Yeah. You're talking about that was on the Canelo card, right?
Yeah, nah, we good, bro.
Maybe that's what he wants. You might be right, man. Shout out to JR Sparks. Said Stanionis is the king of inactivity. Maybe that's what he's dealing with. Maybe he likes the pace. Maybe he wants to only fight once a year, possibly twice a year. You know, and we're going to get into Abdullah Mason as well a little bit later in the conversation. We're talking about activity and how important it is for these fighters' development, bro. People like Jaron Boots Ennis just couldn't see themselves signing with the PBC because the most important thing that he was trying to get was activity. He talked about it so much, especially the father coming off of a Cameron Duncan situation to where like no goals were being met, no promises were being kept. He's just like, I can't run into that again. At least with Eddie is hyper focused on keeping his fighters as busy as possible. He has the platforms, he has the pay-per-views, but more importantly, he also has just the DAZN, the regular Saturdays. You know what I'm saying? And he's able to pay out the fighters consistently to keep them busy as well as keep them paid. So yeah, I just don't see a legitimate argument to have Shakur Stevenson signing to the PBC. To me, hands down, in my opinion, the right move for him is to go over with Eddie Hearns at Matchroom, even if it's just for a 2-3 fight deal. And that's another thing. How can you put a price on the flexibility aspect of signing with Eddie Hearns, on the true freedom you have having a network backing you up like that, who's willing to fund and finance your biggest fights, but also willing to let you move how you need to move to make the biggest fights possible when the network versus network situation is the problem in the fight being made. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah, hands down, right? I mean,
yeah, it does. Yeah.
It's got to be Matchroom. It's got to be Matchroom at this point.
Matchroom or Top Rank. I already said it.
Right, and it seems like he's burning a bridge with Top Rank at this point. The way he's handling himself.
Oh, he's just gonna lose money out of that $15 million deal. $15 million deal. That's all. That's just all they're gonna do to him. But
Eddie seems to be willing to match that.
I'm not worried about Eddie. I'm saying Shakur, him burning bridges there. He's just gonna lose money on that contract. They're not gonna offer him that same money. Right. Once they see that his value is not what it is if he doesn't sign nowhere else and he goes back.
Right.
They're not gonna show respect to him on that. No.
Man, look. It's it just looks like Eddie Hearn is the move. It just looks like it's a move. And him showing up in Philadelphia, I think you sit in front of Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn's going to give you a deal that's just going to make you look crazy for not taking it. I mean, I think even Terrence Crawford is I look at Terrence Crawford damn near as a Matchroom fighter right now. That's how I look at him. You know what I mean? Even though maybe he's not, I don't know. Eddie Hearn said he doesn't have a deal with Terrence Crawford, but him working with Turkey. And once again, that whole entire Turkey ambassador thing going on over there right now with that whole ambassador thing, I think that's just another way of saying I'm signing the Turkey Al-Sheikh. Right? Am I bugging? Right? It's like that whole ambassador thing seems like a Saudi Arabian word for it's kind of like the excellency thing. And people were really confused over the excellency thing, like it was just a terminology.
He's a prince.
Right. You know what I mean? That they thought he was a prince, but it's like, no, that's not what it means over there. It just means that he's in a position of honor that should be honored, and he gets called his excellency.
Yeah, in the royal court.
Right. I think the ambassador situation is just another word for new signing. Terrence Crawford, another new signing. Jared Anderson. You know what I'm saying?
Representation of my legions, or whatever you want to call it.
Right. JR said he's a Saudi fighter now. Maybe that's what maybe that's what Shakur Stevens is looking to kind of put together as well. Maybe it's like, yeah, I'm a Saudi fighter now who gets, who's using the DAZN network via Eddie Hearn to showcase my fights. I mean, a lot of possibilities. Yeah. You know what I mean? And Eddie Hearn also spoke about the whole social media thing. You know what I mean? He was like, Shakur needs somebody who he's basically saying Shakur's doing what he's doing because he ain't got nobody doing it for him. Right. So he's on social media responding to everything, defending himself, attacking anybody who's attacking him, engaging in all types of conversations that we feel like he shouldn't be engaging in because he ain't got nobody doing it for him. And he's like, I'm going to do that for him. If he comes over here, I'm going to handle that. that social media. I'm going to handle the conversation. I'm going to be speaking about Shakur. I'm going to be the one responsible with keeping Shakur Stevens relevant in the space. Bob Arum is not doing that. Top Rank is not doing that. They're not speaking about Shakur regularly like that. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. Rachel Donaire. Salute to Rachel Donaire.
Queen.
Rachel in the building said, but I thought he was sending out contracts. Can you elaborate on that, Rachel, just so we know what we're talking about? Do you know what she's saying, Ray, with that? But I thought he was sending out contracts. He who? Eddie, Bob Arum, Shakur. Okay, Jay Boxer said Shakur. I don't know. What do you guys mean by that? I didn't think Shakur was sending out contracts. Was there some kind of like rumor going on that was Shakur saying that he was sending contracts? Do you remember him saying that, Ray? Or
I didn't keep up with that portion of the whole thing. Listen, let me tell you something. Once I start seeing goofy shit on the internet, I stop watching. I don't pay attention to dumb stuff. I'm sorry, because that's not what we do. We don't want to talk about that. I mean, I'll poke my head in the door a little bit.
Okay, Rachel. Didn't Shakur say he sent a contract to Frank Martin?
Yeah.
He did say that, but I don't know, guys. You know what I mean? You guys can take it literally.
I got what she's saying. She playing hardball.
Right.
Go ahead, Rachel.
When I heard Shakur say that, I pretty much understood that he meant that Bob Arum sent the contract out supposedly, and he was the assumption that Bob Arum did do that and that Frank rejected the contract. So when he's saying he sent it, he's basically taking maybe he's taking too many props for the contract being sent over, being that he looks at Bob Arum as his team. Maybe he looked at himself as some sort of a boss or something to say that his team sent over a contract. Maybe, I don't know if that's what you're saying, but I don't think Shakur Stevens ever was in the position, or I never took it like he was describing himself in a position of somebody who was sending contracts. If that was the case, then he would have said he sent Tank a contract. He would have said he sent William Zepeda a contract. He would have said he sent Raymond Amorotalo a contract. So, yeah, I understand the language he used, but, young kids talking don't necessarily speak in the correct, terms all the time. Sometimes the things that they say actually just represent an action happening more than literally who's facilitating what, right? His team, Bob Arum included in that team, right? Putting out an offer to Frank Martin. He's taking on his shoulders like I sent you know what I mean? He's speaking on it in that way. You know what I mean? But we know that he ain't putting no contracts out. He ain't got no money. He ain't got no promotional company. He ain't got nothing going for him. Shout out to Hood Rich Fire Ass Channels. Give it up to these men. Thank you, Hood Rich.
Thank you, man.
Thank you, the Hood ESPN. I appreciate that, Hood Rich. You know what I mean? The Hood ESPN. I like that, man. You know what I mean? We trying to keep it on that.
Stephen A. Smith, though.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Stephen A. from my hood, man. He from Hollis, baby.
Okay.
I went to, you know what I mean? He from Hollis, Queens. You know what I'm saying? I went to school in Hollis, Queens.
I'll be sharing that chart.
I rock with Stephen. I know everybody be mad at Stephen every now and then, but I rock with Stephen, man.
And to Dr. Stephen A. Smith. Indeckable, respectable, unbelievable.
No doubt. Let me see. Jay Boxing says Bob Arum said that his fighters. Bob Arum said that his fighters every right to ask for fights they wanted, and he never opposed the fighters making their own decisions. Right. You know what I mean? Maybe. Let's see here. Darryl Washington. Salute to Darryl Washington. I'm not sure if I've ever seen you here, but welcome to the channel. If you've been here before, my apologies for not recognizing you, but let's see what you got to say here. Please don't forget to go ahead and subscribe too, Darryl. Salute. If you haven't done it already. Dennis Baranchek versus Shakur Stevenson should fight next. Darryl, I don't have a problem with that fight, right? But I'm going to tell you right now, there's a chance that fight's going to be boring as hell. You know what I'm saying? Because, and I don't know if Shakur needs to be, I mean, there's a title there. There's a unification happening there. But I think with Bob Arum and Shakur Stevenson's relationship being, we'll say, strained at this point, I don't see why Bob Arum would allow Shakur Stevenson to already walk away with the WBC title he has around his waist, leaving Top Rank to come back and snatch the WBO title from them as well. That would almost be like the most petty revenge, and you know, a little bit of. I don't think Bob Arum would do something like that. If anything, Bob Arum would want to be involved in a big money fight, and I think a big money fight would be better for Bob Arum if Keyshawn Davis were to collect that fight from Dennis Berinchek. You know what I mean? Then allow maybe Shakur to get involved in a fight there with Keyshawn Davis. You got the kind of, they're not stablemates, but they're like brothers. So to see them fight brings a lot of attention to the fight. Keyshawn Davis is way more of a challenge for Shakur Stevenson, and it's going to be an exciting fight to see them fight each other. They have that experience sparring each other, so I think you'll see a lot of confidence in a fight between Keyshawn Davis and Shakur Stevens. Shakur might be more willing to take some more chances, some risk, and allow the fight to be exciting. You know what I mean? So I don't think that that Shakur Stevenson, Dennis Berinchek is a legitimate fight right now. Doesn't make any sense from the way Bob Arum historically has treated his champions and how he likes to keep belts. I don't see him giving Shakur Stevens an opportunity to walk away with that title. You know what I mean? But I appreciate the input, definitely. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so Shakur meeting up in Philadelphia. Jaron Ennis also kind of co-signed Eddie Hearn, said, listen, man, you need to come over here, bro. He's always talking for you. He's always representing you in the right light. He keeps you relevant. He pays good. Yo, Jaron, like, I'm having a great time, bro. Jaron feels like he's just starting his boxing career. That's what he feels like. He's like, damn, bro, I'm in the pros now. He finally, for the first time, the way he's reacting, he's like, he feels treated like a star, bro. And that's what these fighters need, right? Like these great fighters like Jaron Boots Ennis. You know, Jaron's like, damn, bro, he just got me on my first fight. Boy, put me as a headliner at the Wells Fargo Center, bro, and got me all over the place, bro. That's what I need, and gave me the partnership. That's what I need, bro. And we're talking about next fights. And we got Terrence Crawford just kind of floating right around, right over our heads a little bit that we can get at as long as we make the money right. And Turkey's already shown his interest in putting that fight together. Man, Jaron Ennis is in heaven, and Shakur Stevens might be looking to get a little piece of that heaven. You know what I mean? He might be looking to get a little piece of that heaven. It is what it is. It is what it is. So let's move on to, you know what I mean, what I think right now. Listen, man, I'm liking what Top Rank. We talking about Top Rank not doing great business with Shakur and not pushing Shakur the right way, right? And not giving him the right matches or not keeping him active. And then we got to go to the other side of the spectrum where you see what Top Rank is doing with Abdullah Mason. And you got to give a Top Rank a round of applause for the way that you know what I mean? You gotta give him a round of applause. You know what I mean? For how they're handling Abdullah Mason. You know what I mean? They got that boy active. Guys, in the last year, from August 26, 2023 to what this fight is coming up on August 17th, this boy is fighting 6 times, bro, already, and is on pace to fight 7 times, right? He's already fought 4 times this year. He's going to be fighting 4 times this year with this August 17th card coming up, and he's on pace to fight this year 5 times. This kid is active. You see how they moving him, and you know when they're moving him like that, you got to understand that they got big plans for Abdullah Mason. What do you see, Ray, in the future for Abdullah Mason? Like at a pace like this, what does it look like is happening right now?
Exactly what I was actually talking about the day before the fight. I'm not trying to be funny.
Talk about it,
what I was talking about. They need to move him. They need to get him into these 10-round fights. Start picking up his competition. Show that he's really that guy. Because, like I said, he passed all the eye tests. He's that guy. You know what I mean? We just want to get him in some rounds. We want to get some rounds, let him build some rounds so he can move on. We can see his endurance and how he lasts. Let somebody, I'm not saying get him in there where he has to get clipped or get touched up just so we can see what type of fighter he is and responsive to somebody. But we also want to see how he is ultimately when he is in those positions of stress or some type of mental breakdown where his body's taking a toll because he's in a 12-round fight. and he's ahead on cards or close in the fight. We want to see that. That's where it comes down to. And I think he's that guy to do it. I think this is the way they're moving him is perfect because it looks like they're building to that, and they're not like throwing like the elite guys, but they're moving right into B class. I'm telling you, they're gonna move him quick. Next year, he's gonna be fighting somebody for a title for real.
I feel it happening too, Ray. I mean, I couldn't have said it better than what you just said it. And you know, that's a co-sign what you said when you were saying that before his fight last week. I was saying, well, I think Top Rank is going to do that. You feel me? I think Top Rank is doing that. I think the activity is the key to it. And you know how I feel about activity, man. That's probably my main thing that I push in boxing. If you guys stay around long enough, and the guys who've been here long enough know that I love activity. I think it's the most important aspect, the most important intangible piece of a fighter's development in this space is his activity. I think as a boxing space, we've become so hyper used to fighters fighting once or twice a year. I remember having conversations over at Candyland when speaking on activity, and people were trying to sell to me the idea that Boots Ennis was an active fighter. Like, he just fought 6 months ago. That's not. I'm like, yo, you guys have just been really just desensitized to activity. You've been desensitized to what boxing is all about. You know what I mean? Like 6 months ago, if you talk to, and the thing about it is, you hear Boots and Bozy being vocal about how they want to be more active, how they need more activity. So you hear them complaining about it. You know what I'm saying? It's like having that woman who keeps complaining to you about the same damn thing, and you keep trying to dismiss it, and you keep trying to dismiss it until she ends up leaving your ass. And you're like, yo, she tripping. Nah, bro, she been telling you this was an issue. You know what I'm saying? Like, Boots has been talking about the inactivity. You look at Jalil Hackett at his young age, who's looking at like, damn, bro, I'm 8-0. It was sweet in the beginning, but you guys just stop. I got to go. I got to put my career first. I got to stay active. I got to go where they're going to keep these wheels turning.
Keep going,
right? Just like trucking, right? And trucking there's a saying we got here. You know what I mean? Ain't no earning unless them wheels are turning. You know what I'm saying? When the wheels ain't turning, we don't get paid to sit still. We don't get paid to sit in parking lots and hang out. We only get paid if the wheels is turning. So these fighters, especially when you look at Boots Ennis, who's been sitting by waiting on getting an opportunity to at least fight for a title. He couldn't even get an opportunity to fight for a title. He had to get one sent to him in an email, had the whole entire space talking crazy to him like he don't want to be active. No, bro, don't tell me that this kid was being active with the way he was being treated when he was over there with Cameron Duncan, and when he was over there semi-PBC, you know what I mean, that Cameron Duncan was affiliated with. He was not being kept active, right? So when you see Abdullah Mason and you see Top Rank treating Abdullah Mason the way they are right now, keeping him active, well, this kid's got to be in heaven right now. And he's getting these guys out of here inside of 4 rounds. So he's not even like getting no real stress on his physical self. He's not even being tested like that. So he's just getting better. He's getting more confident. Now, here's my question, Ray. Salute to Devontae Richardson in the building. Salute, King. Here's my question, Ray.
Listen.
In a year from now, do we see Abdullah Mason hanging out at 135, or is there a possible chance that they might just push him up to 140? And before you answer that, I want to say this. At 140 pounds right now, what kind of presence does Top Rank have at 140 right now?
I don't think that's really a big move for them right now, me being honest. I think what's going to happen, like you said, within a year from now, I think you're going to have a lot of guys, because Boots is going to, listen, Boots is eventually going to see the light, I think, within the next year and move up. Eddie Hearn already mentioned to him. Boots already mentioned he's not afraid to go to 154. So once he sees that, if he moves up, and once he sees that there's more options there and it's going to stay busy, he's going to move. And you're going to see people that are 140, they're going to start moving up. And as they start moving up, you're going to start seeing that 140 division depleting. Then you may see Mason move up. I don't think you see Mason moving into that division. I think he stays at 135. I think that's where he's at. I think he's there for another 2 years. You're going to have a 7-fight deal with the big bro Tank right now, right, in the division. He's about to retire soon, according to him, with the 7-fight deal. Loma, how long is he going to keep fighting? So they do need a star in that division. So I think they keep him there as a star in that division, because Raymond Mortala is too big for that division. Again, you have a lot of fighters that are going to be moving. So we'll have to see. we'll have to see how it goes. Shakur's no longer there. Keyshawn is a big 135 kid. So all these guys are going to be at 140. Why not keep your star there and let him build and take over that division?
I think it's a good argument, man. I definitely do, man. Yeah, bro, that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? And they don't have a powerhouse fighter at 135 right now. Abdullah would be the powerhouse, you know what I mean, the dominant superstar, the Tank Davis. I mean, you got Kenny Ellis saying that he already puts Abdullah Mason as a number 2 135-pound guy up there right now. Salute to Echo in the building. Salute. So I don't know, man. You know what I mean? Jay Boxing, you know what I mean? He kind of on the same page with me a little bit. I'm there for both ways. You know what I'm saying? I think the most important thing is making Abdullah a star. So I was thinking, you know, just to quote what Jay's saying, Abdullah is, as soon as he hits 21 years old, he probably moved to 140. It's going to be how his body reacts, obviously, to him growing. He's getting into his man strength. And I know that's crazy to say that, because when you see how he's been performing, for me to even sit here and be like, he's not even man strong yet, that he's still, you know what I mean? He's still teenage strong. It's like, really, what that man strength finna look like? You know what I mean? You know, time will tell that story. He's a growing young man right now. You know what I'm saying? I won't even disrespect him and say he's a growing young boy. That's super disrespectful. He's a growing young man right now. He's 20 years old. You already see the size on him in the division, and he's a puncher, right? And when you look at like Devin Haney, for example, who's also always had a big frame, you always could see where Devin Haney could go fighting in those lower weight classes, but he never crossed over into the puncher realm. So he had incentive to sit there, cut that weight, and stay down there. He wasn't going to move, you know what I mean, until it was his time to move, until he got all the accolades. Like, he hung out at 135 for a long time to become undisputed, because he knew that was his time. That was the place for him to become undisputed. Abdullah Mason kind of brings that X factor to the table, being a puncher, being strong. He has that big frame on him. I could see him going to 140, but at the same time, like you said, I could see him staying at 135 as well, because if undisputed is very reachable for him, and he doesn't have to be a 24-year-old, 23-year-old guy at 135 pounds chasing around belts. If he can get it done in an effective, time-efficient way, if he can be efficient with his time and they can get him in position and put him there, okay. But you look at like Emiliano Vargas, who went up to 140. He just went ahead and moved up. You know what I'm saying? He got it out the way and said, "No, I want to be over here." I didn't think Emiliano was that big of a 135 pounder. He was a big guy, but you know, Abdullah Mason, I think, is bigger than Emiliano, in my opinion. Maybe I need to see him standing next to each other to get some better perspective on it. But I think it's realistic either way. I think it's legitimate either way where Top Rank wants to go with him. But I know he's getting developed right now. Well, right now, that boy's active, and we're going to see and find out where we're not talking about what it's going to be, and we're going to talk about what it is in more of a present tense. Right.
And with all due respect, we are on a collision course of him and Camille fighting. We're on a collision course with him and Andy Cruz eventually tangling up if Andy Cruz stays at 135. So these are all good fights for him at some point. Andy Cruz in the second fight, I think he's already in that 10 fight matches. So, yeah, I mean, he's already moving into contention. They're trying to push him along. We'll see how this all works out. Like, at the end of the day, I think we'll see what we want to see with these guys within the next 4 to 5 years. We'll see them all entangled at the top of the division and then challenging each other. If not, some of them, one or two of them moving up and one dominating the 135.
Yeah, I see it happening. And you got like Floyd Schofield. It looks like he's going to be making the move to 140 as well. At some point, it doesn't look like he wants to stay at 135 too much longer. We'll see.
Like that.
Well, that's another conversation.
Listen, right? Let me tell you something. Speaking of Schofield, hopefully I can tap in on this.
Sure.
If you guys haven't noticed recently, Floyd Sr. is dead, obviously. It's out here really playing the Bill Haney Tiafimo dad card.
Floyd Sr.?
Yes, Floyd Schofield Sr.
Oh, Floyd Schofield. Okay. I'm like, Senior kind of like got dementia right now.
No. Floyd Schofield Sr.
Right.
He's out there. He's really out there playing that card, like the daddy card, but bigging his son up way bigger than he should be at the moment, and giving him a lot of those accolades and calling out people. And I'm starting to see it starting to rub the room the wrong way. You know what I mean? I've been looking and checking it out. That's why I'm like, I'm staying away from that guy for a little bit, because it's going to be the same thing. Now, his son now has to fill those shoes.
Right.
You know what I mean? And if he keeps fighting the way he does, and like you mentioned multiple times now, he's headhunting. He's no longer being a technical boxer using his talents. It's going to be a hard shoot. It's going to be hard for him to fill those shoes, and he's going to end up it's going to be overhyped. And
right.
we're trying to tell him now. I think all of us in this space have been trying to tell him, like, yo, slow down, take the fights, get what's in front of you, talk to Oscar. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with a challenge, but take the right challenge.
Right.
Don't sit there and keep throwing yourself, you know what I mean, thinking that you just fought a guy that just came out of Home Depot parking lot or a cab driver, and then you're going to just jump in the ring with somebody elite, and the guy in the cat that was a cab driver just cut your eye up. Like, bro, you got to start focusing on what's reality, and that's the truth.
100%. 100%, bro. We're gonna have to see how Floyd Schofield handles that. We got to see how Floyd Schofield Sr. handles his position, because that was a conversation as well that I wanted to bring up yesterday a little bit, talking about these father-son dynamics. You know what I mean? And at some point, your fighter, at what point is the father's part of the journey ended, where the father has to be mature enough to put the son first and say, you know what, I've taken you where I'm going to take you. I pretty much done hit the limit. And if we're going to start talking about putting you in a ring with William Zepeda, putting you in the ring with Abdullah Mason, putting you in the ring with Shakur Stevenson, I might need to concede that we need to bring somebody else in here, that I'm not the guy who's going to do that, because at some point it turns into the father living his legacy out, trying to prove to the world that he's the big coach, that he's the big guy. Because the reality is, as a father who hasn't coached other fighters, you don't have no resume to justify you saying you're the best person for your son, to train your son to get him past one of the best fighters in the game. You don't have a resume. You're just going off your feelings and your emotions and what you believe, your ego, pretty much saying what you're going to do, but you have no resume to be like, yo, I can bank on this. I've done this before in this way. This is how I'm going to carry it. At what point do you separate yourself? In your last 2 fights that you've had for your son, you've been calling out knockouts. You've been saying he's going to, you've been talking about sparring matches that you've had in the ring with the Shakurs and, you know what I mean, and things of that nature. And you ask him how we did in the sparring. Ask him how we did. They know not to play with us. They know that Floyd coming this way and Floyd coming that way. But yeah, bro. But you stick him in the ring with some reckless fighter and they're splitting his head. You know what I'm saying? Above the eye, below the eye, on the side. You know what I mean? Already have all the scar tissue.
One here, another on this side. That's not good.
That's not good. And you're not even fighting content. You're just leaving prospect status. Some people don't even respect the contender status that you're saying you have. Some people are like, I don't care what they say. And that boy's still a prospect. He's still doing prospect stuff. Right. So, when you look at that and you look like Teofimo, Teofimo in his last couple of fights, all the way from, let's go far back as, let's go with Sandor Martin forward. He's been looking like he's been missing out on a lot of the development in his boxing. Like, he's been able to get away, and I emphasize get away with his ability to adjust in the ring and his freestyle, his mentality, and how he's able to be athletic. But now he's getting to a point to where he's fighting fighters who are very educated on dealing with athletic fighters, and they're bringing strategy and discipline to it. And when the strategy and the discipline gets involved in a conversation, he doesn't seem to have the answers. You know what I mean? To those situations. So a lot of people, is it reasonable to argue, damn, Teofimo Sr., what you been doing with your son?
Right. No, you're absolutely right. Like, what have you been doing? And we've been seeing him be the same fighter for how long? When you again wash, rinse, repeat, people figure that out quickly. It becomes a pattern. Once people see that pattern and they notice that there's certain things in that pattern that are broken, coming forward, not utilizing your jab to close distance, not keeping the person off you with a jab, all those things come back to hurt you. And as we've seen with Teofimo, as you're talking, you know what I mean? Dad's trying to tell you, yo, use your jab, yo, do this, do that. And you're not doing it because you're so used to being this highlight film. You can't only be a highlight film for so long. You know what I mean? Wow. Eventually, you got to learn other techniques or your career is going to be over quickly. And we're going to start seeing the same thing, I think, out of Floyd Schofield if he continues to fight the way he's fighting, just trying to go in there and melee people. those things don't work for long. Yeah, you can get away with it early in your career, but every person that doesn't, you don't have no simple techniques and no things that just, boxing talents, and you get away from all those things, you get into quick and you become the hype job.
Yep.
Perfect example, Andre Bertle.
I'm gonna let you hold it down for a second. Give me 2 minutes.
Yeah, no, go do your thing. So yeah, Andre Bertle's a perfect example of that. He was a person that came out there. He didn't utilize all his tactics. He was knocking out people, using his strength to bully people in the ring, and he was a big 147 pounder. And what did he do? Got dropped, got beat up basically, and it was unexpected. And then he was supposed to be the challenge to Floyd, the next guy, and he didn't even look great against Floyd. And then he turned around, and his last fight, which I don't even know why he even took that fight, 2 old men in the ring, he got spoiled again. I'm like, bro, you didn't even look like a fighter anymore. So, I mean, these things happen in a lot of boxers' careers, and I think Echo had put it in there. He had put a great comment in the chat to explain this. So, yeah, man, just be humble. Basically, just be humble. At the end of the day, yes, your dad can talk for you and all that, but you still have to go out there and perform. And it's no different than us talking about Shakur last week, saying that he's going to knock somebody out or drop somebody, and this is how he's going to do it, and he's going to do all this. And then you go in there, and what happens? You put on a fart show, unfortunately, and it stinks, and nobody cares. So we actually have to we have to acknowledge those things, because when you're not doing it, exactly, that's exactly how he lost his fight, his fight with Kambosos. Because he didn't have, Teal has no jab. He has no ability to cut off. And you know what's crazy? Kambosos was just like Claggett. He was standing in front of him, just throwing haymakers and punches, and then started moving left to right laterally. And Kambosos don't even move to his right. He only moves left. And he was going all over the ring, hopping up and down, moving back and forth. He gave Teal trouble. And there you go. You know what I mean? So exactly. Yep. Exactly. You know what I mean? We had Shakur in the space today. Me and him kept it respectful for the most part, but he can't take criticism at all. You know why he can't take criticism? It's because he's spoon-fed, as we call it. You know what I mean? 4K. When you're spoon-fed, you don't believe you didn't. We were talking about this yesterday. When you grow up in a situation where, I'm not saying he had the best life, but he wasn't begging for stuff. He didn't have a need for stuff. And I don't mean that, I don't know his whole career, but you can tell a person that doesn't have a need for something and is spoiled or gets stuff that they want based on things, and people that have to strive for it or work for it or don't have it, and they watch everybody else with it, and they envy it, and then they push for it and they grow and get it. There's a different way of moving. So when people are spoon-fed, what they do is they get out there and they just act real immature, and they act like children because they want somebody to spoil them with and forgive them for the ways they act. They act like children. You know what I mean? They grown-ass men acting like children. And that's what he does, bro. Like, you know what I mean? They look for attention. They look for attention in the wrong way, and they don't know how to deal with it. And they can't accept criticism because the criticism is the one thing that hurts them, because they got to be right all the time. Yeah, I can say, yeah, Ryan-ish. I mean, you got a lot of them that do it. I just think that whole generation is crazy. It's crazy that we even say it. Even Devin to some point does it. He gets out there on Twitter. He says some silly things at times too, but for the most part, he does stay out. He stays out the scene. I think his dad does more of the talking for him than anything, and then you have other aspects of it. But Tank ain't like that, bro. Tank knew what it is. He know what the grind is. He ain't out there. You know what I mean? He'll throw a little shot up here and there. You know what I mean? But he know what the grind is. And then you have other situations where you have people that are not spoon-fed. That were spoon-fed, that know how to act because they had older brothers or they had other siblings that just, you know what I mean, beat them up or made them humble. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to throw this out there, but Frank Martin, in that case, Frank Martin didn't seem like he was that type of guy to be crying about stuff and acting all weird and being a baby about things, man. He just looked like he kept it business, and that's what it was. Being around the right people can help that. So, you know what I mean? We all have weaknesses. We all have situations where we have to work on things mentally and physically. And in Shakur's case, he just has to learn how to tune things out. And I don't think, I told a lot of people, man, he left Jersey when he was a teenager. I think 14 years old. He moved out to the Maryland area to train with Coach K. So So he's been out there, and then he went from there out to Texas. So he's been in Houston. So he's really, you know what I mean, as much as he's 20-something years old. So most of his life he's been in Jersey, but then those other couple years, 11 years, he's been out of state. So, you know what I mean, he's accustomed to other ways. I'm not saying people out there are that way. I don't know, you know what I mean, how people act in other states, and I'm not dissing Texas. I'm not dissing Maryland at all. Please understand that. But I just think that where he came from is you know, they got him into a better place. I don't know if y'all understand what I'm saying now. I think they moved him to a better place from where he was. And when he moved into that better place, he felt some type of entitlement. And now he's not getting the entitlements that he has. So now he feels like, you know what I mean, there's some type of, like, somebody playing him out, or somebody, yeah, thank you for understanding that. Yeah, he feels like somebody trying to play him out or take stuff away from him. And that's crazy. I'm gonna drop the link by Clay out, so I can't even bring y'all up. So I don't know why I'm dropping the link. Hopefully Clay make it back soon. What else we gonna talk about? As far as we can go back to Abdullah Mason though, because JR Spock had asked me a question. I was saying about Shakur, who's the guy to replace Shakur. I think if it's going to be who's the next superstar in the case of boxing, young superstar, I definitely think that is going to be Abdullah Mason. If we're talking about who's the guy that is better than Shakur as an overall fighter and flashier, I think it's Tank, hands down. You could even put Loma in that perspective, because these guys put butts in seats and they know how to finish fights, and that it doesn't even have to be a knockout. It's just the fact that they put on the performance. I think we talked about performance and entertainment the other day. Anybody can be an entertainer. I'm sorry. Anybody can be a performer, but being an entertainer is where it's at. You know what I mean? Taking the show over, and you got to know how to do that. And if you can't build that show and make that show pop, then basically you're not in the entertainment business. You're just a performer. We can just call you to turn on the lights, you know what I mean, and run across the stage. You could be the clown on the Gong Show, bro, like at the end of the day. But yeah, Abdullah is definitely that guy, bro, and I think he's definitely going to be moving up and making things right for the division for 135. I think he's going to put some pressure on things. I think we're going to see a lot of people moving into that realm. I think Frank Martin is still, no problem, man. Anytime. I didn't get to talk on it because we was on other topics, JR. But no, much respect to you. But as we're talking about, like, all the people in 135 that's going to possibly be there, because we already said Tank put his retirement card in. He already said, I'm doing 7 more fights. He may fight after that. You know what I mean? That doesn't mean his career is over. That just means that, you know what I mean, he's not going to be interested in what he does. He doesn't want to do this forever. So he's making that statement. We still have Edwin De Los Santos. We still have Andy Cruz. We still have we'll have Raymond Mortala. We'll have I think Riles out of there. Trying to think who else that may be there. We're gonna have Oshaki Foster in that division. So we're gonna have a lot of fighters in that division. We even have George Ferocious Cambosa still in the division. You know what I mean? So when we got Abdullah Mason moving up the ladders, he's going to have some fights. And right now, Cambosa is going to be that. I'm just letting y'all know he's going to be that gatekeeper, because he was almost an undisputed champion and he fought for an undisputed title, beat Teofimo. He's going to be a light for a lot of these guys in these early 10 to 12 round fights, so as they start moving up in the divisions because of who he is. So, you know, put some respect on him. And same thing with Artem Haratunin. He's going to be the same way. He's going to be one of those guys that people going to have to step through to get into these tough fights. So he'll definitely match up with these guys, and I think he'll move up as he's fighting. Eventually he'll get to 140. Like I said, I don't see it in the foreseeable future, but which is like tomorrow. But I think by the time we see him at, like, what is he, 20 years old?
20 years old right now, yeah.
So by the time he's 23, he'll probably be at 140. He'll fill in a little bit more, and he'd possibly be at 147 by the time he's 26, 25, 26. And I think he'll be a great welterweight champion. I think he'll be probably the next thing that we'll see in boxing because of his start and the way he's going and the way they're moving him.
I agree with you, bro. I agree with you. I think that's his ultimate, right? The ultimate place is going to be at 147. Is probably where he's going to do his boots, his Terrence Crawford, his, you know what I mean? He's gonna have those type of performances there. A lot going on for Abdullah Mason. And just at the end of the day, appreciating the way Top Rank is moving with him. And you can tell that Top Rank is sold. They're not stupid. You know what I mean? They might have not moved with certain fighters in the way that people feel like they should have moved, but Top Rank's always been known for developing great fighters. They know how to do it. And they see what Abdullah Mason brings to the table, and they're clearly going to put the effort for him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, speaking at 135 and keeping 135 going and moving it on 130, what's going on at 135, William Zepeda has options, right? William Zepeda is in a situation right now where Oscar De La Hoya has a fighter, dream come true for Golden Boy to have a fighter in William Zepeda who's number one across the whole entire spectrum on 135 in every sanctioning body. He's number one. We got Tank Davis and Lomachenko, who are obviously tied up in negotiating a deal for a November fight. It seems like that's coming closer and closer to fruition when you hear about the rumblings going out in the streets right now about what's happening. So, those titles are tied up. Then you got Shakur Stevenson, who's in the midst of moving along to wherever he's going to go to. But still, he wants to fight William Zepeda. I've also heard Eddie Hearn mention putting that fight together with Zepeda as well. And I've said it myself that I think William Zepeda and Shakur Stevenson is one of the best fights to get put together right now that would help Shakur Stevenson and obviously put William Zepeda in a huge fight. But Oscar De La Hoya has different plans, right? He's already communicated his interest in going the Dennis Barancek direction, trying to put that fight together over there and giving him the easiest access to getting a belt. He wants to have a belt when negotiating with Shakur or with Tank or with Lomachenko and putting a fight together. But Bob Arum, at the same time, Bob Arum might have his own game plan and may not see giving his belt to Golden Boy right now as the best option for him. He may be dealing with what I think is a wild card, which is Keyshawn Davis. And rumors also of Mark Chamberlain being an option as well for Dennis Barancek as well, maybe on a Saudi card or, on something like that. But at one point, Oscar seemed like he wanted to fight for Shakur Stevenson and William Zepeda, but then he kind of fell back off of that, right? You saw Panda kind of hint towards not wanting that fight, right? Like really understanding he didn't want that fight right now. Where do you think William Zepeda is going to end up being right now? Do you think him and Shakur Stevens are on a collision course to ultimately fight each other, or because he's fighting for a title? I'm convinced he's fighting for a title next.
I can say that I can see the next fight being Shakur, but I think they're going to push the WBO to force that fight, whether it be on Top Rank or at or Golden Boy or just a buy-in. I definitely see them taking the WBO route. I think it's the easiest route for him to get the fight. That's the easiest champion in most people's opinions for Zepeda to fight. So I think they might look like they might. What's up, Frequent? I think they might be looking to go forward with that fight for Bernachet, and then try to unify to make the fight bigger because the money grows. You know what I mean? The belt you have, unified belt. You know what I mean? The money starts growing into those championship contention fights, and he just wants to put his name in the mix. He deserves it. He's been there for a while. You know what I mean? He's been in the top 5 for the last 2 or 3 years. So, you know what I mean? It's not like he's somebody that just came along from nowhere. He's just now, because it's Devin and Tio and Ryan getting out the way. I hate to use these guys' names as examples, but moving up out of the division kind of created more space for him to be amongst the top fighters now. And I think he is the elite guy at 135 amongst Shakur, Loma, Tank, even the champion Bernachet. Got to give him credit because he's a champion. Even Keyshawn Davis, Andy Cruz, he's in conversation with these guys. So him being there, I think they're going to go the WBO route. I think they're going to try to call the WBO out, and they're going to say, "Hey, look, this guy deserves a championship fight. This is where we want to go. We want to fight for your title because they all they got to do is present it. They don't have to. They don't have to beg for it. Look, we want to fight for your title, and we believe that your title gives us the best options of how we want to move with our champion. Once he becomes champion, we can move up, maybe take the WBO from Teofimo and represent there, or we can stay here. We try to unify these titles, and we just try to get our first undisputed champion at 135. I don't know if he'd be the first Mexican undisputed fighter, but that would be a great selling
point.
Yeah, exactly for him with the WBO. And we'll say we started with you guys because you guys gave us the opportunity. All he has to do is put that in perspective. And once he does that, we got a WBO fight, regardless of if Bob Arum does it or not, because we're going to force Bob to either make Bernacek drop the belt
or defend because he's number one.
Right.
That makes sense. Ray. That makes a lot of sense.
I did my homework, Clay. I did my homework.
No, listen, I like it. You cooking right now, bro. That makes sense. So basically going the WBO route, right? And not going through Bob Arum, not trying to work with the graces of Bob Arum and get Bob Arum to agree to make a fight. Obviously, in a perfect world, Bob Arum would do what he had to do to keep that WBO belt over there at Top Rank. But listen, the WBO did it to Sebastian Fundora, right? When Sebastian Fundora tried to skip over it and make it look like I'm going to take this huge fight with Errol Spence, WBO was like, you can do what you want to do, but not with our damn belt, right? You're going to do what you're supposed to do with our belt because we ain't got no problem taking that belt right up off you. Right? Taking that belt right up off you and putting it where we want to put it. And I gotta agree with you, man, and give you the cool points on the fact that, listen, man, the WBO wants to be involved in the biggest fights. Right. They want their fights to get against big fights and make a lot of money. And William Zepeda holding that WBO belt helps the WBO as a sanctioning body out, looks better for the WBO than Dennis Berinchyk or even, dare I say, Keyshawn Davis walking around with the WBO title.
Exactly.
William Zepeda brings the Mexican fan base with him, and he brings that pressure fighting style. Now, Keyshawn Davis is definitely an exciting fighter, but William Zepeda has a nation behind him. Well, you know what I mean? Keyshawn ain't bringing all of America with him like that. He has his fan base. There's people who like Keyshawn and people who don't like Keyshawn. But the Mexican fan base is a fan base that if any sanctioning body would love to have the right, like right now, I'm telling you right now, the The WBA is super excited to have Esau Cruz as a champion. They loving every minute of it. They're like, yo, that dude right there, he's going to bring a whole entire fan base with him. And I could see the WBO being just as interested at keeping a William Zepeda with that title fight, with that title, and any fight that moves on forward from there is going to be big. Because even if you're going to put William Zepeda in there with Keyshawn Davis, huge fight. You put William Zepeda in there with Shakur Stevenson, huge fight. You put William Zepeda in there with Tank Davis, huger. Did I make that word up? Huger fight. You know what I'm saying? William Zepeda with the WBO title around his waist is good business for the WBO. I definitely got to co-sign that. And if Bob Arum is going to risk losing and being stripped of that belt, he might as well let Dennis Berinchyk get in that fight and at least get a piece of it, because him losing it, there ain't no money in just losing it. Right. Slow dough is better than dope.
And you want to hear something funny? Guess who ends up fighting for it if he does if they make him drop the belt? Keyshawn and Zepeda. So your guy's still on the card.
Yeah.
No matter how you look at it, you know what I mean? You're involved in this fight, so you got to weigh your options.
Yeah, no doubt, man. I like that. Oscar De La Hoya might have that in his back pocket. He's a smart man. He's not a dumb dude. He might have his bad habits here and there, but he's never really been a stupid person. And I think I see that happening now. That puts some perspective on it. You know what I mean? That puts some real perspective on it, because I was sitting here thinking like, man, is Bob Arum going to allow that to happen? But this is beyond Bob Arum. The WBO has a history of activating these mandatories. Now, if Bob Arum were to coordinate this fight between Keyshawn and Dennis Berinchyk, like as far as the mandatories are concerned, is there a time frame? Like,
here's the thing, because he's number one, he can actually call for being a mandatory. He can supersede that fight no matter what. He can jump. He can cut the line. The WBO is actually one of the few sanctioned bodies that like having champions fight. They like the fact that they want their champions to fight their own champions in divisions above and under. They have no problem with that. They like to see their boxers very active. So guess what? They'll make it happen. They'll be like, look, this is the guy that we want in the ring. This is the best opportunity for us to have a running champion. And this guy's talking about unifying. Absolutely, let him have it. You know what I mean? They don't care about the risk of him losing it to somebody else. They just want to keep the action going. Right. Do you see Bernacek really fighting anybody else right now? He's the only person he can unify against right now. That would be Shakur. His buddy's Loma. He ain't going to fight Tank because Tank's involved with Loma. So where's he going to go? So you fight your number one in your division, or you try to take this fight before that happens and you go try to fight Keyshawn. And if you try to fight Keyshawn, guess what happens? Zepeda throws his name in the hat, just like Bud did, and it shakes everything up. Oh, you're gonna take that fight with him? We're gonna take that title from you.
Now, a curveball could be Turkey, right? Turkey can get involved in a situation, involve his fighter, which is Mark Chamberlain, right? Mm-hmm. That's his fighter. Right. He can involve Mark Chamberlain in the conversation, and the money that he brings to the table could serve as vested interest of the WBO to allow that fight to happen before the active mandatory with William Zepeda, and put Mark Chamberlain in the conversation. No.
Well, the problem is Mark Chamberlain has a fight also going on, and Bernacek has a fight. So if we look at it in timeline space, if they start negotiating all this stuff right after Bernacek fights, Zepeda is going to be the front runner.
Right.
If you do, even if that happens, you know what you have going on. Turkey Sheik now promoting that fighter for Mark Chamberlain to fight Keyshawn Davis for the next guy in line. That also becomes a potential fight for the WBO category, and not only solidifies them for that title, but that puts them in contention of the other titles as well. So, you know what I mean? It's a win-win for that fight, however you look at it. I mean, I just think that De La Hoya knows what he's doing. He made the right moves. He pulled the right plugs, and he's seen something in this WBO portion of the rankings, and he's seen something going on there. So he knows what he's doing. He's actually moving the right way.
100%. 100%. Good points, Ray. Good points. Highlighting this boxing business 101, how these sanctioning bodies work, man. Let's see what ends up happening. But I definitely, that put a lot of clarity and a lot of perspective on this whole entire process. And, Golden Boy looking like they might be on top right now, having that number one position with William Zepeda puts him in a real golden position, a real gold, you know what I mean? Puts, no pun intended, puts him in a real great position to kind of move the needle, whichever way they see fit. I'm interested in seeing how that turns out for sure. Right.
And one more thing. Mm-hmm. Y'all heard it here first. Hit the horns, Clay.
No doubt. Well, that was it. They just heard it here first?
Yeah. They heard it here first. When you start hearing it somewhere else, you know you heard it first.
No doubt, brother.
People try to rock with stuff and try to make sense out of somebody else's business.
Hey, you already know. Let's see. The Keji says WBO seems to be giving their options open on mandating a mandatory. They may ask Zepeda versus Raymond Murtala to fight for that mandatory position. I don't think so. I think he's already there. Why fight for something I already have?
Right.
You know what I mean? Right. Why fight Raymond Murtala for something I already have? Like, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to give Raymond Murtala that type of energy. If anything, I see Raymond Murtala getting ready to be. I see Raymond Murtala and Keyshawn Davis. If Keyshawn Davis can't get at Dennis Berinchyk, then it's going to be him and Raymond Murtala. Winner of that fight gets a mandatory spot, number one spot to fight against whoever wins between William Zepeda and Dennis Berinchyk, or I still think that Turkey kind of has a may be able to slip Mark Chamberlain up in there, but I like Golden Boy's chances of getting that fight more than Turkey right now, based on the logic that you put down. It makes sense. It definitely makes sense. I like Golden Boy to get it. You know what I mean? So yeah, let's see what happens with William Zepeda. Exciting fighter. Mexican fan base following him. You got to keep your eye on this guy. He's probably the number 3. Right, number 3 or number 4 guy in the division right now, 135 behind him. So you got Tank, you got Loma, you got Shakur. Yeah, probably Zepeda. Zepeda be that number. I think
Zepeda is a strong case for number 2, in my opinion.
Number 2?
Absolutely,
maybe.
Bro, he just hasn't had that shot. He's dominated all his balls, but he's been beating all the crap breaks off all these dudes, bro. He might be that guy.
Are you gonna put him over the champions?
You want to put him under the champions, put him under the champions. I can live with that too. You know what I mean? But then you put him over Berinchyk, and Berinchyk the champion, right? You put him in number 4.
But Berinchyk.
I mean, if we're looking at, as we always say, Clay, you're only as good as your last fight. And let's look at his last 2 fights. He dominated. He beat a dude that Pitbull struggled with, and Pitbull was a big name in the boxing space, a big contention for Tank Davis.
Right.
I mean, they thought he was a challenge for Tank.
Right.
This guy decimated this dude in 2 rounds, bro. I'm just saying.
2-3 rounds. Yeah, he knows.
3 rounds. Excuse me, 3 rounds, but 2 rounds. He didn't fight the first round, so 2 rounds he decimated this guy, got him up out of there. And the last guy he fought, was like 4 rounds, and he beat the Pope out of him.
Handle him.
Bro, this guy looks like he the truth. You know what I mean?
I would definitely say, as far as sellability, market value, as far as great dancing partner, he's definitely up there like number 2. He's behind Tank as far as that type of fight, the delivery of the fight. Right. But I do think like best fighter, best boxer.
No,
I can't put him in number 2.
He's not there for that. But if you're talking about somebody that's going to, if you're putting him in rankings for the division, you got to put him up there.
Right, for the money fights, for the exciting, for the action, for the must-see fights. He's the must-see. He's like probably the number 2, maybe number 3. You could go back and forth with Abdullah Mason a little bit as far as must-see fighting. Abdullah Mason fights right now. Everybody wants to watch him fight, bro.
That kid's great.
You're not gonna pass up an opportunity to see him fight. As soon as you hear he's on the card, I mean, them putting him on that card on August 17th made that a must-see card immediately. Because everybody else on that card, I don't think nobody really cared about like that, right? So we'll see how that turns out. So moving the needle, you know what I mean? And then we'll open up the chat. We'll put the link out there for people to come up if they want to build with us. Subriel Matias parts ways with head trainer J Panda Nahar. And you know, a nice little segue because J Panda he's also the trainer of William Zepeda, right? And then you see Subriel Matias and him go their own separate ways. We talked about this yesterday too as well. You know what I'm saying? Just as to the reasons as to why this may have happened. We'll never know the true story of it. I know J Panda put out a message saying that he wished him the best, that, you know, it seemed like it was mutual to a degree. And whenever I hear that mutual shit, I start thinking it was more J Panda than Subriel.
Just seemed like somebody left angry. And it doesn't seem like it was Panda that was angry when he left. When you get that mutual, it's this guy was mad. And maybe you were onto something yesterday when you were talking about, you know what I mean, this guy just wants his own attention.
Right.
But at the same time, bro, you got to figure this out. You were a world champion. You got another guy in your stable that is going to probably be a world champion soon, if not fight for a world championship.
Right.
This guy didn't do nothing to set you up, but try to teach you. I told you, he wasn't following the directions in that fight. He allowed Liam to beat him up, and he wants somebody that's going to tell him to go in there and brawl. Bro,
right.
You got to listen to your coaches. And Panda's like, yo, hey, no sweat off my back, bro. This is another.
That's what it looked like.
I got another fighter I can bring up, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, if it looked like from the outside looking in, just to add to what you're saying, it looked like from the outside looking in that Panda might not have been the one who initiated, like, let's go our own ways. But when Subriel kind of pushed back and was kind of like playing that I'm the star thing, Panda was like, be the star then. I ain't got no problem. You know what I mean? Don't threaten me with a good time. You know what I'm saying? Right now, I've got a fighter who's ready to be a champion right now. He's number 1 in every single sanctioning body in the division. He's in one of the hottest divisions in there right now, in the conversations with the hottest fighter in the division, the face of boxing, and Tank Davis right now. I got my workload, you know what I mean, good with me. You know what I mean? I got enough to do over here. I don't need this nonsense. If you're not going to hear me, if you're not going to, you know what I mean, take what I'm saying as gospel, you're not going to allow me to do my job, what am I here for? You know what I'm saying? What am I here for? At the end of the day, I can move on.
It's coming. Don't worry. I'm dropping the link in a minute. I got it right there waiting for y'all. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Say he's doing it. We good.
Yeah.
We ain't doing it yet.
We about there. We're going to close it up with this one pretty much. You know what I'm saying? We're just going to wrap it up just to say, and like I said, the pros and the cons. The pros being, you know, he needs to go back to the basics. He needs to find somebody. A lot of time with these fighters, Ray, I'm going to be real with you, man. These fighters, it's kind of like, you ever watch, I don't know, I might be going a little far, but you ever watch House of Dragon?
Yes, parts of it. I didn't watch the whole thing because but go ahead.
Right. Well, I'm just going to go on a basic, the relationship between a dragon and its rider, right? And that the dragon has to have a respect, the rider has to earn the respect of the dragon. You know what I'm saying? The dragon just doesn't, the rider just doesn't walk up to the dragon and the dragon just concedes. Nah, you got to show me that you're worthy of, I'm a bigger animal than you. I blow fire. You know what I mean? I'm about to curse. I blow fire, dog. There's no secret that you're not superior to me physically. What I'm going to respect is your heart. You know what I'm saying? Your direction. I'm going to respect that you can direct me where it needs to be. And I'm putting my life in your hand. but you're not. It's not like you finna smack me out and show me that you're gonna beat me up. I'm a dragon. Let's not get it twisted. I'm a dragon. I'll burn this whole city down. We know what I'm built. But if you can show me that you're the superior, you're the leader, because more than anything, I want to win, right? More than anything, the dragon wants to be with somebody who has heart, who's going to lead him to victory, who's going to lead him, you know what I'm saying, the best way so he doesn't have to think. I look at Subriel Matias as the dragon, and I look at Panda as the rider. You know what I'm saying? And if the dragon's not respecting the rider, it's just not going to work. And a lot of times when I watch these fighters not following direction, to me, what that's saying is, I don't trust you, bro. You haven't earned my respect. Or you had it at one point, but you've lost it in some kind of way, whether it was in training, whether it was in the ring, me doing my own thing got me the results I wanted, and me doing your thing got me hurt. I don't know where the disconnect happens, right? And that's why when I see something like between Shakur Stevenson and his grandfather, I say, man, this is not something that just started in this fight. Shakur been going back and forth with his grandfather for a minute now. And we just got to see it leak in front of a camera, got to see Shakur and his grandfather going at it, but they clearly been going at it for a minute. So just off the strength of that, although I think that Shakur Stevens' father was giving him the right advice, grandfather was giving the right advice in that situation, if you are not going to be able to muster up the respect that you need to have for your grandfather, then just off the strength of that, it may be time to add something else, you know what I'm saying, to the whole entire process. Not throwing shots at Wally, right? Wally may be on his game, but if Shakur don't got the respect or the belief in you, and he's showing that he doesn't, well, for Shakur's well-being and from a grandfather's point of view, you might consider bringing somebody else into the ring. You know, Devin has respect for his father. He'll do what his father says. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to talk back with his father. And with Subriel Matias, if he's consciously putting that, I'm going to do me, how much respect does he have for Panda? Maybe Panda just isn't the right fit for him. Maybe he needs to find somebody who he's going to be able to listen to, take what they're saying as gospel, and be more focused on executing a game plan more than doing his own thing. Does that make sense?
It could be. And
right?
Whoever said it ain't the money.
Who said it ain't the money?
Like, is it like their situation? Is it the money? It could be. That's another possibility. You know what I mean? You're not paying me for what you should be paying me. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what I mean?
It could be that too. But regardless, it's still the same thing. It still comes to not listening because he wasn't listening in that fight. So at the end of the day, you can see that something ain't right. I mean, he wasn't respecting him. He didn't feel like he was doing his job.
Something was
saying.
Yeah, something was going on there. You know what I mean? So the pro of it is, we'll see who Subriel links himself up with now that he's not with Coach Panda. And if it's an upgrade, if it makes more sense, then it was worthwhile walking away. If it's a downgrade and he gets a yes man, kind of how like Deontay Wilder carried it, you know what I'm saying? Getting that yes man in the corner, then he's going to suffer for it because there's no getting around the fundamental weaknesses that we saw in that fight against Liam. He has to work on that. And he has to have somebody who's going to be truthful enough with him to be like, that ain't going to cut it, bro. We got work to do.
Right.
You know what I mean? So we'll see what happens with Subriel. We could throw the link up there, though, Ray, if you want to throw the link up there.
Let's go. Are you a trainer, who?
Go at it.
Oh, he coming up now. You can ask him. Come up here and ask him. I'll get at it. Links in the chat.
Yeah, links in the chat for anybody who wants to come up and build. For sure. We're not going to make it a long night, by the way. You know, I got things to do in the morning. You already know this is my Sunday fun day. So we're going to keep it sweet and short, but we're going to build. No, I used to box, but the streets overcame. Okay. He having conversations. 3D to 5D, I don't even know. I'm kind of nervous, so let me read over this before I go ahead and acknowledge you. Subriel Matias is a drinking problem. He drank before the Paro fight. Word on PR. Ooh. Okay. I mean, listen, man. When you come from those backgrounds, it takes that discipline to separate yourself. Even Tank, when he first came into the space with Adrian, he had to kind of battle those demons a little bit. He was partying a little too much, sipping on stuff, having a good time. He had to kind of, fight those demons for him to be who he was going to be. So if Subriel Matias is suffering from the same situation, then the main thing he probably needs to do is get the hell up out of Puerto Rico and be somewhere where he's not exposed to that type of situation. But that's a honest conversation that Subriel Matias needs to have with himself and maybe with the people who he respects. You know what I'm saying? Right. Can kind of get through to him as well. Shout out to 4K Zay in the building. Shout out to Hood Rich.
Peace.
What's good, brothers? What's on your mind?
Shit. It's been an interesting day, man. We had Shakur in the space earlier. And,
okay, how'd that go?
It was decent. I'm gonna say that, and that's just me keeping it respectful. He answered some questions, and a lot of it he didn't. I think that a couple of people could have controlled it a little bit more, the way they ask their questions and things like that. You know, when you engaging with a fighter, especially young fighters, you don't want to make them feel attacked. And it's crazy. I just tweeted out something. I said the downfall of boxing fans is focusing on just being a fan of one fighter and thinking they know the sport. A little bias is healthy, but Twitter fame for shock value and $200 a month got these guys trying bullshit narratives lately, and it actually waters down the sport. That's why we see fighters going off on this app. It's so many trolls and meat rotters. It's pushing real fans into the dark. So what Shakur is saying is he's seeing an influx of trolls on Twitter, and he's reacting to guys who are actually fans of him in a negative way. So a couple of guys, I don't know what these guys tweet out towards him every day, but they asked him a couple of valid questions today. And Shakur's response was, do you box? If you don't have any accolades in boxing, then you can't tell me shit. You can't tell me how to react. Basically, it was a bunch of, you can't tell me this, you can't tell me that. And then it turned into a bunch of suck my, but that was later on down the line. I actually had a chance to try to get it out of him a little bit better. And my questions were direct. I didn't cut no corners with him. And I just asked him. He did a little bit of that to me, but like I said, for the most part, we kept it respectful. To say I got a straight answer today, though, I'd be lying. He basically told me that he's the fighter. We don't know what he's going through in the ring and things like that. And I was like, well, you can give us that POV, that you know, you can give us your perspective, because my question still is valid. I want to know what you were thinking in that moment from round 6 to round 9. You hurt him somewhere in between there. So why didn't you go for the finish? And I seen him say his hands hurt, but I wanted to know what else he saw, because at that moment he seemed to be having a good moment in the fight at that time. So I wanted to know why he didn't go for the finish. He didn't answer that question. And I just tried to give him a little bit of advice on how he reacted to Mace and to Cameron. I just felt like he could have. I understand, like, ain't no man gonna take nobody saying anything negative. But at the end of the day, we all men. I don't think they meant him any harm. So I think he could have went to their platform and actually got a fan base instead of staying in the Twitter space. Because, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's gonna show somewhere down the line. The hate thing that Floyd used to have and how he cultivated a fan base by having everybody hate him. Not only did he back it up, but that was for his era. That was for his time. We're in a different time now. That Twitter hate and things like that, these guys are trolling for $200 on Twitter. They're not trolling because they're going to buy your fight. They're still going to go to Stream East and stream your fight. So you're not doing what you're doing. You're not building off, and you're not building up a fan base off of arguing with these guys every day on Twitter. You have to start actually engaging with your fan base and stop being so dismissive. And it's crazy because as much as I'm a Tank fan, I'm also a Shakur fan. I'm also a Devin fan. So when I get the negative, things, the way he comes off sometimes, it's just like, damn, bro, I can't even talk to you. But I let him know. I was like, look, bro, I'm not a troll. I don't do the trolling. Everybody in this Twitter space know 4KZ don't troll. Anything that I say to you, I know you be in Houston. I will come to Jay Prince Gym and I say it to your face. I be at Jay Prince Gym from time to time. So I go over there and I say that I know a couple of guys around you. I just want to have a conversation about boxing, about what you see and how you feel, and try to give you a little bit of advice. Whether I'm a fan or not. I'm like a year or two older, but I think I got a little bit more experience based off this reaction on Twitter. Right. Yeah, bro, that's the type of day that we had today. It was a very interesting space. I'll try to screen record a couple of the interesting parts and send it to y'all. I do that for y'all. For
sure. Salute, man. Appreciate that. Definitely looking forward to look at that.
Yes, sir.
We got another member.
Yeah, is that Spock?
Yes,
is that JR? Okay.
Yes, sir. Shout him out.
Because his name on there, he just kind of got like, okay, I see what he did. He put the 2 hours up there. Okay, cool. Yeah. I got you. What's good, JR? How you doing? Wait, can he hear me? Did he freeze?
He's smiling.
No, he's blinking. No, that's not JR Spock then. Is that Colorado?
Who we got in the back?
Can he hear? I don't think he hears us. He's sitting there blinking.
No,
we got the Hood Rich in 4K. We hear you.
My European brother in the on the screen. I don't know if he can hear us. Can you hear us, Lance?
What the fuck are you talking about? Your European brother. What the fuck are you talking about, Claymore?
Oh, what are you, Spanish? I don't know.
Oh,
dude, what? God. Come on, fam. Stop.
He started wilding.
Yeah, he's wilding. Who is this?
We ain't doing that.
Let's go, family.
He ain't mean no,
I don't
What's up, man?
He ain't mean no disrespect, though.
What's your background? You're not European. What are you?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm just a guy.
That's
right, so you know what I was saying, bro. Damn it, you know what I was saying. But is this JR Spock?
No, we ain't doing that shit. We ain't doing none of that.
All right, who is this? What's your name?
All right, this is JR Spock.
Okay, thank you. Damn, bro, you made that complicated, didn't you?
I'm sorry. I made that way more complicated than it needed to be.
I'm like,
that's what I thought it was.
I'm trying to acknowledge it.
I'm sorry. My bad, Claymore. My bad, Claymore.
How you doing?
I'm doing all right. How are y'all?
I'm doing good, brother. We talking about that boxing, man. I don't know if you wanted to contribute or spit anything, or you want to just hang out a little while. JR, no, it's not. JR, you are not JR Spock, family. Who are you?
What do you mean? My name's Lance. It's right there on the screen, no?
Oh,
that's not. I'm telling you, your name's not here. I'm telling you.
Minneapolis, right?
Okay, so
Lance.
Yeah, my name's Lance. I'm from St. Paul, Minnesota.
No, your name's not on the screen. All I see on the screen, just kind of give you a heads up, is 2 owls.
Okay, my bad.
So that's why I didn't know.
I see that too.
How you doing tonight, Lance? What's good with you, family?
I'm all right. How are y'all?
Man, we doing good, man. Talking about this boxing, you know what I mean? Trying to keep it 100 in the
I just said that shit to the Be More cat, and then he jumped up here, so I felt like I wasn't, I felt like I had to.
Oh, what you got, battle?
Huh?
That's
you don't want that, Be More.
That's me.
You don't want that, Hoodridge. Huh?
What were you guys talking about in the chat? That let's all participate.
No, I said that I wasn't sure if he was about to get up on the panel. So I said, if you're going to get up on the panel, I'll get up on the panel. And the next thing I saw him up on the panel, so I felt like I had to get up on.
I thought he was a fake page.
Oh,
because he was calling me a troll.
Oh,
and I talk my shit. I talk my shit. Don't get me wrong. I talk my shit. I do, but I'm not a troll.
I know what you said, because you said something about you didn't agree with something I said. Okay, yeah.
Hey, bro,
and I don't know why they blocked you. I don't think
nobody blocked me.
Not blocked. They removed the conversation, but yeah, we don't. Unless it's something that's crazy, we don't do that. That was cool. I can live with that.
I've definitely seen you here before. Like, I know you're not new to here. I've never seen your face before. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, JR, you already know if you hit the link, y'all kind of favor each other. So that's why I was like, is this JR Spot? You know what I'm saying?
But I mean, yeah, because you kind of far back. Yeah.
Right. Y'all favor each other. That's why I was like, is that JR? I'm not too sure if that's who it is, and I didn't see a name under there. But yeah,
no, I don't know who JR is.
JR in the chat, man. He cool, man. Good people from Colorado.
Junior from there's a junior from St. Paul too.
Where's TR at?
Oh, we don't know.
TR got upset.
No, we're Ross Cloud.
I want a refund for the Ryan Garcia Devin Haney debacle. That
TR bounced, bro. Y'all got upset when we started talking about Ryan and the way he ain't like it. He ain't like it, bro. He was like, "Yo, Ryan is my God and my OG," and you know what I'm saying. I don't like y'all talking about him.
He says God.
No, he didn't say that, but he gave me some long.
Yeah, in all due respect, man. In all due respect. Listen, he just wasn't feeling the way we was talking about Ryan.
He'll be back.
We didn't say nothing crazy. Yeah, he'll be back. He's a good
contributor. I might have to shoot him a call and see what's going on.
Yeah, he's a good contributor to the channel. I respect him, but we just couldn't have him. He had his panties in a bunch. Excuse my French, but sometimes you gotta.
He went left for real.
Yeah, I'm dead serious, bro.
I thought it was a joke.
No, he was dead serious. He was super upset. He said, "We're not being fair. We're not giving him a chance. We're just assuming." And this was before
a chance
nonsense came out.
Before the B sample dropped.
Oh, before the B sample dropped. Okay.
Right. And we were just kind of getting at Henry a little bit, where Henry was like, on his campaign of like trying to discredit Vada and Wada. And you know what I'm saying? He didn't like it. But it turned out to be crazy. But he ain't come back since. He sent me something. I told him, look, respected or deflected, and he deflected. So he'll be all right. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
But going into these fights this weekend, you know what I'm saying? Any fights that you guys looking at that you excited about seeing? Lance, you excited about watching boxing this weekend, Lance? You looking at anything good?
Yeah, for sure. I'm definitely looking forward to the Jaron Ennis fight. I'm looking forward to No,
I said right. Go ahead.
I'm looking forward to a few different cards. I mean, I feel like this weekend should be, as opposed to last weekend, and I'm not trying to compare apples to oranges, but we got some punchers this weekend. You know what I mean? Like I'm not trying to be disrespectful with that either, but
you right.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Be disrespectful. Listen, that's not disrespectful.
Yo,
You telling the truth.
I don't feel like there's any other way to put it. But last weekend they gave us boxers. They gave us, they gave us those pure fundamentals. This weekend we're gonna get some hitters for real.
I agree.
Facts.
So you
on most of the cards.
You didn't enjoy those.
We got
I'm betting.
We got the DAZN card and we got the ESPN card, and both of them are pretty stacked. There should be some exciting fights.
I agree. Yeah, you got the Janibek fight, right? You talking about the Janibek card on DAZN?
Yeah, that should be a good fight.
Or the other way around, right? On the ESPN, sorry.
Yeah.
That fight is going to be a great fight. I didn't really study, look at all the fights that were on the undercard too much. I think there was like one other fight I may have been looking at on that undercard, but I know I agree with you though. I think we're going to see some exciting fights. Right. This fights that we saw the past weekend was more controversial, more full of drama. Kind of was good for the content creating space, like people just talking all this crazy. Shakur, tweeting out 300 plus tweets inside of like 48 hours was pretty interesting to see him pull that off. You know what I'm saying? To see him pull that off, you know what I mean? But the big fight, so as far as the Jaron Ennis fight, the Jalil Hackett fight, even the Tevin Farmer, Raymond Muratalo fight, you know what I'm saying, is going to be really good fights to watch. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
No doubt. Yo, is that your family? So let me get this straight, Lance. I don't want to poke into your family business. So what, like, you rock with, like, you rock with, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying?
So,
is that why you was like, yo, your European brother?
My daughter. That's my daughter. That's
okay.
Those are my daughters.
There we go.
I have a stepdaughter that's Ghanaian and Jamaican, and then my daughter there is Jamaican. She's mixed.
Okay, I get it now. I see where the energy was at. Where you was like, "Don't play with me like that, y'all."
Well,
I know what I got what you were saying. Man.
No,
I understand where you're coming from.
I get it now. You know what I mean? Because people probably try to dismiss you or dismiss your opinion or dismiss your presence by trying to resort to, you know what I mean, talking about a European background that you may or may not have. So he's like,
no, trust me, I overstep my boundaries quite frequently, so y'all might feel some type of way about it. So don't be getting too comfortable with me.
No, you good, man. You good. You good.
What you mean by that?
Listen, you know what they say? Words don't hurt, bro.
It's like, hold up, man. Elaborate.
Say no. Go ahead.
No, because we monetize.
Sticks and stones, fam. Sticks and stones.
We monetize. No.
Yeah, we don't want to get the cussing and fussing on here, man.
Yeah, we good.
Sure.
We good.
Hood asked me if I thought
salute, y'all.
What's up, Frequent?
What's up, Frequent? Salute. What's good with you, family? What you think about your city on fire this weekend, man? Your city on fire, man.
You going to the fight, Frequent?
Yeah, man. I'm sorry. I'm probably not gonna be able to go, man.
What?
Oh, damn.
My niece and my sister, they hit me up, man, about we having this family reunion. Mm-hmm. And so they hit me up for the bread, bro. I can't be both.
Right.
Do both, so I'm sorry.
It's all good. What if I support you and we go out to the fight, man?
See?
Yeah, that's a possibility.
All right, you gotta come pick me up though, because I ain't driving to Philly. You got to come pick me up and bring me back. It's not far though. I tell you
that's good. You got the gas. You want the gas money? That's good.
Oh no, I'm buying the ticket to the fight. I'm buying the ticket to the
fight, man. You're gonna pay for the fuel.
Yeah,
but you're gonna be watching it from home. Worst case scenario. Any fights you looking at seeing more than others, or you just looking to see Jaron just wash somebody up?
Oh yeah, definitely. That's the main thing I want to see. I want to see Jaron. I mean, do his thing.
Yeah, did you see the press conference?
No, I ain't even. Nope, I ain't see none of that. I was at work and everything. Got home late, had to do some stuff, and I just checked and saw that Ray sent me the text to say y'all was online. So I caught y'all. That's why I'm late getting on here with y'all.
No doubt. Ford, did you see the press? The presser?
You talking about for Jalil?
Yeah.
I saw a preview of it. I didn't get a chance. You know, we got a lot of stuff going on down here in Houston right now.
I'm hearing that Jalil looked like he was weight drained though. That's what I heard somebody say.
I'm worried. I don't know. I was gonna do a parlay this weekend, and I like Jalil, but he don't look too good. So
yeah, he looked a little weight drained. I ain't gonna lie to you. I told you he looked like he had the he had that white, I'm hungry, I'm thirsty. You got a dollar bar around his mouth, you know what I'm saying? Cause, you know what I'm saying? Your man was struggling, bro, up there. Like he was talking that ish, but at the same time, I had to notice. I was like, yeah, man, how's this weight cut treating him, bro? I'm like, man, I don't know how this weight cut. Like, and then Pete Dobson kind of called him out on it, had me rolling. Pete was like, yo. Yeah, he slapped him too, but Pete called him out like, yo, wipe your mouth, bro. You got a bunch of white stuff around your mouth. He was like, you having a bad weight cut? What's going on with you, bro? And like he said, Pete Dobson called out, and that's what I want to talk about it with the panel, because in one way you could look at the press conference going Jalil Hackett's way, where it was kind of like, you know what I compared it to, like Jay-Z and Nas battling, right? Where it was like Jalil was more like the Jay-Z a little bit. Like he had the bars, he was spitting that shit. No, I'm sorry. Khalil was more of the Nas. He had the lyrics, like he was spitting the bars. But in a way, Pete Dobson was kind of the J, like he was spitting the facts. He was kind of saying it to him like, yo, bro, you ain't fought nobody for me to be worried about you like that. You just got a nice record, but you really ain't fought nobody for me to be talking. You know what I mean? I got the better resume for real. I done fought better fighters, number one. Number two, he called out the white stuff around his mouth. Like, yo, bro, you look like that weight cut looking crazy, bro. You better be right. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, damn, he kind of hitting him over the head. He was like, wipe your mouth. And then Khalil didn't want to wipe his mouth. Jalil didn't want to wipe his mouth, trying to be like, I'm not going to do it.
Laughing at that.
I'm like, you need to wipe your mouth for real, though, bro. You really need to wipe your mouth, bro. What'd you think about it, Rich?
That shit was bad, man. Like I think I told Zay earlier, for real. Like he had a real bad weight cut, and it ain't gonna happen again though.
Right. And you got to think he didn't even cut. He's not even on the scale yet. So is he on weight right now? Is he ready now? Is he still planning on cutting some more weight?
Honestly, I ain't gonna lie. I feel like he underweight. I feel like he did it too much.
And then he had the sunglasses on. He was trying to hide them, those raccoon eyes, like Devin was.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie. It's bad, bro. Like it's bad. Like his eyes sunken in. Like it's bad.
He was Drainos?
Yes,
man. Drain. He like 144, bro.
Oh man.
That's why I said I think he undercut. Like I don't know if that was the plan. I don't know, but. He like 144 and some change. He fighting at 147.
I seen the last two Pete Dobson fights though, and that dude's a dog for real.
He lost to Conor Ben, didn't he?
Yeah, he did, but he was fighting Conor Ben.
I seen his last two fights. Yeah.
I mean, like he was rocking them though, but like it was like in spurts. You feel me? It was just in spurts.
I tend to believe what Pete Dobson was saying though. Like I really believe what he said when he said that he was really pacing himself out in that fight with Conor Ben. He didn't know how his body was gonna react, and he was more concerned about maintaining his conditioning. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
he didn't really let his hands fly the way he wanted to because he was more concerned about, he was kind of starstruck a little bit. A 12-round fight. His first one, big show, big stage. He wanted to make sure he didn't get winded. He only had 5 weeks to prepare for the fight. He didn't have a full camp, so he was a little bit less confident going in that fight with Conor Ben. He said this is not the case in this fight. He was like, I don't know. He told Jalil straight. I believe what he was saying. That's all I'm going to say. When Pete was talking, I don't think he was just talking ish.
Yeah, but for that Conor Ben fight, he was going everywhere. Like, I'm going to knock him out. Like, that's what I don't like. Like, they make excuses in the end. Like, oh, I wasn't this, I wasn't that. just keep it 100, bro. Like he beats you on your best night. You feel me? Like just keep it 100. But like he was going everywhere. Like, man, I'm gonna knock this dude out. I don't know who he think he is. He talking trash. Then at the fight, well, I don't know how I was gonna get through a 12 round. What? Come on, bro.
Well,
the Keggy asked him, did he look bad like Frank Martin? Did he look like that?
I didn't see him.
Worse, bro.
It's an ESPN show, dog.
Yeah. So
different.
You're just saying about Dobson. Also, remember that was a catch weight that was supposed to be a welterweight fight. That moved up to a little bit above junior or just under junior welterweight fight.
100%.
Oh, so I ain't know that.
Yeah, that's why he was talking about his weight and stuff like that. So he was trying to say like his game plan was to win the fight, but he tried to maintain certain things and certain values in that fight to keep himself from extending himself and wearing himself out early, so he can last the fight. I think it was 150. I think they came in at 153 or something like that. And what's the name? And then the walking weight for Conor Ben was like 175, 178 or something like that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
it was a different fight. This fight is going to be more. I think we're going to see a more confident Pete Dobson in this fight. But look, man, Jalil Hackett, man, he really brings that smoke. His body attacks is crazy. You know what I'm saying? He got the skills. The only question, if you're going to put any question in what Jalil Hackett's bringing to the ring, is going to be this weight cut. It's going to be, you know what I mean? Is he sensitive to getting punched in the head? You know what I mean? Hitting the chin. Is he going to fall out? Because Pete don't hit soft, man. Pete ain't no like, you know, pity pat puncher. He going to come in with some heat on his punches.
I would grade Jalil's boxing to counter that, Claymore. Would he be able to do something like O'Shaquie Foster did? Being able to stay out of the way of Consequio and stuff like that? Because Consequio was swinging for the win. He was swinging for the fences.
Could Jalil do it? Yes. Will Jalil do it? I don't know. Jalil got a heart, bro. He like to, and the way I don't know if he's selling us wolf tickets, but this is his first on the main card for this fight he's got going on Goodrich.
Yo, it's sounding crazy right now. What's going on?
Hoodrich, you got to put the volume down.
Just mute him. All
right, I just muted him.
Okay. So yeah, you want to continue, Clay? You want me to?
Yeah, I was gonna say just that, you know, the way he fights, you know, look at his record. He's like 8 wins, 7 stoppage. You know what I'm saying, or 8. Like, you know what I'm saying. He likes to go in there and represent, and he seemed real amped and ready to kind of show out for this fight tomorrow or Saturday night. This is gonna be a big fight for him. This is his first fight under the Matchroom banner. You know what I mean? This is the relaunch of his career, hence the thumbnail. You know what I'm saying? This is the relaunch of his career. Is he going to fight safe? Is he going to choose to be like, you know what? I had a bad weight cut, and I'm going to just play the distance, control the distance, and win on points. And if I get a knockout that comes to me, I'll take it. But ultimately, the most important thing to me is to walk away to win. Or is he going to, you know, commit to who he's always been? Is he going to leave the party with who brought him to? You know what I'm saying? Who brought him to the
Matchroom? I'd be getting confused. Oh.
Right. Yeah. No. But you're right. I'm glad you said it at the end, because I was gonna say he needs to control the distance, because he's in there with a puncher. He's in there with somebody that can actually hook off on him and catch him in, with a short hook inside or anything like that. Because he's a taller, bigger fighter. Where in the opposite, Robson Consequio was the taller fighter, and he was swinging for the fence trying to get to the smaller guy.
Right.
And I think us seeing that play out differently or the same, we have to look at it in aspects of the roles are reversed with the same with the styles being different on the opposite side of the fence. So it could possibly, and especially when you got two guys that ain't afraid to stay in the pocket and shoot off at each other. So we'll have to see how that works out, because I think he needs to stay on the back foot and use the counter in this fight to beat Dobson. Let Dobson walk into something and just play it safe. And once he sees he hurts him or hurts up on points, he can probably take a little bit more risk. But other than that, we'll have to see how he plays it out.
Can you grade him on that right now, Ray? On his back foot and his counter ability?
No. Honestly, no. But hey, they all train on every single aspect of fighting. When you're a boxer, you train on all these aspects. It's just a matter of when you utilize it.
Right.
We ain't seen him enough, right, Ray?
I'm keeping him hostage.
I want to see, because I know a lot of Spanish fighters tend to be pressure fighters.
Right.
So I'm going to go try to catch 2 or 3 of his fights, and then I try to see if I can come up with some of his habits. Everybody has a habit. So
right.
Who are you talking about right now?
Jalil Hackett.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, because I heard you say he's a little ferocious. He's a tough guy. He's a little ferocious to the body and things like that.
Definitely.
Crazy body puncher.
Yeah, he would have to adjust with him having his weight cut. You're not gonna be able to go in there. I mean, I know a lot of guys like to give, like to take a little bit, to give a little bit, but how much is he gonna be able to give is gonna be dependent on how much he can take. And like I said, like I didn't even see the press conference, but just looking, you know, we've all seen it before. We see these guys in these press conferences like this, and it doesn't always go so good. You get a rare occurrence of Devin coming out because he looked bad. He looked a little bit better when he faced Loma, but the fight for Kambosos, he looked real bad before, you know, with the weight drain and things like that. But he was able to use his jab, yeah. So I don't know.
Regis, he looked perfect, right? There was no problem with the Regis cut. He looked perfect in that. But yeah, you're right.
Hey, is Tevin Farmer on that fight?
Yeah,
He's on the Jennifer card. I thought.
No. He on this card. He Philly.
He's on this one. I'm sorry, Matalo's on Jennifer. My bad.
You said bet the house on.
No. Marotalo's fighting Tevin Farmer on this card.
Right. Oh, so what is fighting on the Jennifer card that we was talking about yesterday?
No, Jennifer. Well, hold on. Maybe I'm wrong. Let me make sure I'm not bugging because now you're making me question myself.
Well, we know who he's the person you got. You know the person he's fighting, right? Though I just don't know about what card he's on. It's on.
Oh, I'll tell you right now. Hold on. Let's not even play about it.
Earlier, y'all sound like y'all was looking right past Tevin Farmer, like he just was going to lose.
I mean, Tevin Farmer got a tall task in front of him. I mean, we'll see what he does.
On the odds right now, bro. He said bet the house on him though. He said bet it all on him.
I bet you he did.
His last 2 fights was knockouts, bro.
Yeah, Shakur quoted him and said, "Should I?"
Oh damn, nah. Tevin Farmer ain't fighting on this card, bro. He's fighting on the other card. Let me see. Hold on.
That's what I thought.
You're right, bro. Why wouldn't Tevin be fighting on this card in Philly? Is he a top-ranked fighter?
Oh, he's fighting Raymond.
Yeah, but they're fighting in Nevada, man. He should be fighting in Philly. You're right. He should be on this card, but he's fighting. Oh,
I see why he calling for that knockout. They gonna be out there stacking. You know it's legal out there, man. They gonna be out there stacking, bro.
Hold on a second.
Yeah.
Tevin Farmer went to the PBC.
Let me see something here. Yeah, you know what? Raymond is top ranked. He's not the zone. So that makes sense. Okay. That makes sense. Well, let's see what the card. He's fighting Tevin Farmer. Yeah, he's on the Zanabek card. Yup. Actually, they're the co-main event of that card.
Yes, sir.
Right. So yeah, man. You guys think that might be fight of the weekend? I seen somebody say that might be fight of the weekend. Why y'all think that? I don't know. I think Raymond.
I don't want to call that fight. Like it's like this is one of those fights I don't want to see anyone lose.
Well, because they saying that Tevin Farmer, you know what I'm saying, got knockout power now out of nowhere. Nobody know where it came from.
The Asserine flavor.
People speculating
he fought tomato cans. We already went through that yesterday. We don't want to go there again, but it was
bad.
Yeah, those last 3 fights is not. We don't need to be. Yeah, don't reference those.
13 and 7 and 8.
Yeah, he had a dude who literally lost more fights than he won.
Word? That's crazy.
Yeah. JR, I do think Andre is gonna be a live dog in that fight, man. I do. I ain't gonna hold you, bro. I think Andre Mikhailovich is gonna be a live dog in that fight against Zanabek. 100%. 100%. One of those titles that they fighting for though is like a vacated title, right? That they're unifying over there, or is Zanabek a unified champion? Zanabek a unified champion already?
It's 4-2 belts.
Right, my bad, y'all.
Yeah, we about to wrap it up soon anyway. I got to go lay it down.
Yeah, it's 4-2 belts.
That's a bet.
No, he has 2 belts. Zanabek has 2 belts.
He has 2 belts, yep.
You got the IBF.
Guys, if you can, please show some love to the channel. Drop some color in the chat. You know what I mean? Support Clay for the hard work he's done over the last 6 or 7 months. Please support the brother.
And hit that like button, man.
Definitely hit that like
Stop
button.
playing with the likes, man. They
Yeah,
taking time out their day, man, to really sit here and politic boxing.
Sure.
Appreciate that.
Salute.
But
Uh-huh.
yeah, though, I ain't gonna lie, like both of the co-main events on Saturday is bangers. We already know what Boots gonna do. We already know, like we ain't even gotta talk about it. We know he's gonna stop him. We know that.
No, the
Hey,
only
when is the Janabek card though? When is the other card?
it's Saturday, same time on ESPN.
Oh, that's crazy.
I mean, that's what they did with the
do, huh? Freedom don't know what to do. He got two
Some
Philly
good
fighters.
fighters y'all ain't never heard about. That's how it goes.
Yeah, he got two
That's how
Philly
it-
fighters on the card at the same time. You don't know who to watch.
Yeah. Well, you know how we do. We got both monitors going, catching
Yep.
both damn fights, trying to keep up.
I ain't gonna lie. Boots got a lot of young killers on that card too, man. A lot of them.
You got a lot of Philly.
Khalil,
Kill Philly, yeah.
man, Khalil like that. I ain't gonna lie, man. It's a lot of up and coming prospects, man, coming. But if you notice, a lot of them southpaws.
Yeah, that's what Tank was saying. Tank was
Game
saying
changing, man.
everybody want to fight that strong hand. They want to have that strong hand up front, bro. They want to start hitting people with bad jabs, knock people out with jabs. You know what I'm saying?
This what a lot of people ain't know though. Frank wasn't even really left-handed. That's what really got him in trouble. He posed for orthodox.
People feel it seems like people feel more confident with putting their power hand in the front. Like they for some reason it seemed like they feel.
That's how I was, yeah.
That's hood stuff though. That's like not knowing how to knowing how
Yeah. That's what I used to do.
I didn't know how to fight orthodox for the majority of my life.
Right.
It's the same thing, but Terrence Crawford learned how to master that. I mean, I used to think that, but I once I started learning how to box, I was like, man, now that I know I'm right-handed and my right foot is supposed to be back, do I have to fight like this? Because it becomes uncomfortable. It's like, damn, I've been fighting my right foot forward my whole life. So it's kind of natural for me. It's easier for me to put my right foot in front, though. But I know how to use my left hand now. So it's a little bit easier. And it's the same thing. Like you hear Shakur. Shakur is also supposed to be fighting orthodox. But even in the southpaw stance, Shakur is the opposite. Like he'll still be shooting his left hand a lot more than his right hand versus me. I'll put my right foot forward and I'll be shooting my right hand. I'll still jab you with it. But it's like what Crawford hit Spence with. Crawford's jab ain't even a jab to me. I don't like to call it a jab. It's more so like a power straight. Because that's his strong hand that he's shooting. So when he hitting you with it, it's not like I'm not saying that jabs are strong, but you know, jabs are it's for space. It's for
setting up shots.
It's for setting up shots. Versus
I used to switch up. I used to switch up just because it felt natural. You know what I mean? I used to switch up just because it felt natural. When I started boxing, I think I was so trash that they sent me to the southpaw coach. You know, so I kind of learned how to box southpaw, and then later kind of learned how to use my right hand and then just try to figure it out from there. Because when I first started, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. So they sent me to the southpaw coach. So I always learned how to use my left hand as my power hand and my right hand as my lead hand. And then, from there, I tried to kind of find my own style and, tried to figure out what I was doing on my own, really. And just because my trainers had passed away and things like that. But I moved to different trainers and utilized some different trainers and things like that. But I don't know.
Yeah, I learned.
Man, that was bro.
As a little kid, and then I switched up naturally. And then when I started training, I was able to switch. The crazy part is, I did the same thing with baseball and basketball. When I dribbled, I learned I was able to use both hands. I'm not ambidextrous, but I was able to use both hands, dribbling, swinging the bat, and punching. So, power. So I was able to do.
Wait! You can swing with from both sides with the baseball bat?
Yeah.
Yeah, look, Ray talking about he wasn't ambidextrous. That's literally the definition of it, bro. What you talking about, man?
I can't throw lefty though.
Baseball, that's crazy.
Hey, Ray, that's crazy, bro. Because look, I eat with my left, but I don't use it for nothing else. That's crazy, bro. Yeah, I eat with my left, but I'm right-handed, bro. That's crazy.
I had that same problem. I used to cut with my right, and then somebody told me that's a bad thing.
Ray, I'm with you.
Rich, you have a hard time being a Muslim because we not allowed to eat with our left hand. We got to eat with our
That's
right
why
hand.
I ain't Muslim, brother. That's why I ain't Muslim, brother.
Because the way you eat, that's crazy.
Yeah, I had to learn how to cut the meat with the left hand with the knife.
You thought I was Muslim, Clay?
No. A frequent. I'm saying frequent. I did not know about the right hand thing, man. I did not know.
Oh, I ain't never told you about the right hand thing.
No,
that's actually what I was getting at when I said someone told me how to use my right hand to use the fork.
I eat with my right hand. I'm right-handed, but I ain't know. You know what I'm saying? What it was. I know it was like. But look, what I'll do is I'll switch it over. Take my, my fork cut with my right hand. You know what I'm saying? I like to cut with my strong hand, but then I switch it over back to my right hand to actually take the food and put my, it's like naturally that's what I do. But it is what it is. Guys, we're gonna wrap it up though. It's 11:05. I got me with a pause.
88 Talk Sports got me with a pause. Said I was switch it.
Hold on, let me see here.
Yeah, good one.
Why is senior?
What you talking about, Floyd? Floyd again?
Schofield.
I told you he wilding, bro. I told you he out there wilding.
He wilding again.
He's trying to get into that market of Bill Haney. Like he's literally
shot that and he got sassy energy.
Clay, Rachel said, "Wake up! She might be in the back, aged out."
Nah.
But bro, think about it. He can do all the talking, but his son got to get in the ring. That's the only thing I don't like. He be talking like he the one fighting. You feel me? He be talking
he talk like this, and he don't never understand things saying. I'm like, bro.
Yeah, bro.
And then he run all his social media. But like, I get it. He wanted to focus just on boxing, but bro, that's corny, bro.
The funniest thing is when he called out Devin, he called out
everybody.
Right. But when Bill had him on, I think it was the Boxing Voice, and Bill was like, "Yo, we was down there beating your son." I ain't gonna say monetized.
You was there for real, Rachel?
Yeah,
my bad.
Go back here. Let me hit her up.
Yo, for real, they sent me to some guy named Larry Goodman, who's passed away, but a great person. He was the left-handed coach. You know what I mean?
Don't feel bad, Rachel. They aged me out a couple times too.
Trying to stay on top of that game, man. Yo, guys, we about to wrap it up though. I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't know if Rachel want to come up here and say something right quick, but I got stuff to do today. I'm actually gonna be in Baltimore tomorrow. You know what I'm saying?
For real? For real?
Yeah, I'm gonna be out there handling some business. Working.
Man, slide through, man. Hit my DM, you know. If you on that tight time, you feel me?
No, I ain't got no time.
Tank gonna run down on you like, oh, you in Hanos clan, huh?
Bro, hell no. When he with me, he good, bro. He ain't got. Come on, bro.
That'll be a good conversation. Take a picture with him.
No, bro, I'm driving a 53-foot trailer, bro.
It's all right. You'll be just wear your Batman shirt. When
he not down here right now anyway.
Yeah, no.
You're moving trailers like that? What? You're moving big rigs, huh?
Yeah, that's what I do, family.
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that. I'm trying to get into that. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
That's not easy. What do you mean there ain't nothing wrong with that? That's not easy. Anyway,
I'm saying ain't nothing wrong with that. He was
joking. Ain't nothing wrong with that. And you can't do that, is what I'm saying.
Clay moving that work state to state.
What the fuck is white boy talking about?
I don't know what.
White boy get the tripping.
They monetize, bro.
You're talking about ain't nothing wrong with that. Fuck are you talking about?
No, he's saying ain't nothing. Stop with the cussing because we monetize, bro. We monitoring the.
Oh, I'm sorry, my bad.
What he was saying was there's nothing wrong with me doing that for a living. That's what.
No, I understand that. That's what I was saying. It's not easy to do, is what I was trying to say.
All right, but
bro,
I'm saying
you don't get it. He just don't get it, bro. He don't get it. He don't get it.
Rich was giving me props. He was saying, "Yo, that's what's up. You doing that? You know what I'm saying?" He was like, "Ain't nothing wrong with that." Working a 9 to 5.
Rachel, come on up, Rachel.
No, Rachel,
bro, get the trip, man. Bro, that's the second time, bro. You got one more time, bro. That's the second time, bro.
What?
No doubt.
We good. All right, let's move on.
We're gonna wrap it up.
Yeah,
I'm about to play the outro music. You already know how we're gonna give it up. Salute to all you guys for showing up to the channel, man. I appreciate the support, man. Let's get it up. Yo, share it with your friends, you know what I mean? Share with your friends.
And thank you for coming up, everybody. Lance, support.
Saturday night, I'm gonna try to also do a live. I'm not guaranteeing it though. I'm gonna try my best. You know what I'm saying? Do a live for the fight. We'll see how my day go because I do the weekend wraparound shift. I'm out here punching the clock. You know what I'm saying?
Was that Hood Rich talking about that? What the fuck is he talking about? Second time? What?
Yo, he's still tripping, bro.
Rachel in the back, please.
Okay, I got it.
This guy is tripping.
Hey, Hood Rich, hold on. Lady in the building.
Get him, Rachel. Get him. He aged me out too before. Get him, Rachel.
Salute, Rachel. What's good with you, Queen?
No, I thought you were falling asleep because I was like, anytime now,
No, I didn't see the back. I was actually reading a message that I got on my Instagram while I was talking. So yeah, my eyes were down. I was definitely nowhere near it. But
no worries.
So we're gonna build soon.
That's right. Go ahead and get up out of here, guys. Y'all just do me a favor, send some prayers down here to Houston. I got my power back, but it's
yeah.
You know I got you, Brody.
You know I always try to stop in there when I can.
Yes, sir. Right. That's about it, bro. My family good now, though. We was out of power for like 2 days, and we back up and running up. So that's why I was missing from y'all. I'm gonna pop in every time I can. God bless. I'll see y'all.
Hit me, Zay.
Yes, sir.
God bless, Brody.
Bro.
All right. For sure, fam. We got to hear that. Salute, Hood Ridge. Salute, Lance Mine. Nice to have you up here, man.
Thank you, man, for coming up.
Hey, Ray, check your phone, Ray.
Down a little bit when you come up here, bro. Nobody trying to come for you, man. Enjoy yourself.
Bye, Claymore.
Bye,
all right, Clay. All right, Ray.
All right.
Bye, Miss Rachel.
I ain't seen you in here yet. Where you at? Hold on. Yeah. Oh, hold on. I might got you. That's 4K though.
Hey, Clay, when the next when the next giveaway? Clay?
I sent you a message in the DM.
Wednesday.
It didn't show up.
Okay, Wednesday.
Wednesday or Tuesday?
You sure? I ain't get it.
Tuesday. I'll let
Is
y'all
it the
know.
CK Ray all day?
No, no, that's not me. Somebody got a fake Twitter account.
No, I was talking on
Oh, you talking about on Instagram?
Yeah.
On IG. I thought you were talking about Twitter. That's it. Yep. All right.
I followed you on the Twitter too, though, bro.
All right, bro.
All right, yo, I'm gone, man.
All right.
Hey. Yo, Ray, we did it again. Another one in the box.
Shout out to that to homie Lance, bro. I appreciate him coming up.
Yeah, definitely appreciate him coming up, but he could definitely, not be so defensive. Don't get caught up. Don't get caught up in the hype.
Yeah, no, good, man. Good.
Shout out to him for boxing. I really got the best team on boxing. The most basically class topic. No bias, no drama, no catty, no catty-ish, no gossip. Good-ish. Salute, man. We appreciate it, man.
That's what it is. We bring the boxing gloves on Saturday.
All right.
You see, look, it's natural, bro. It's natural.
Second of losses, I'm heading them out, yeah.